What is happening, ladies and gentlemen of League Zero? My name is Corbs, here with three special guests. So, first of all, to the right of me, we have Florida.
Hello, I
Uh,
am Florida. I am an off tank for One Trick Wonders.
Below me, we have the manager of Edinburgh Monarchs, because I always got that wrong. It is Ghost.
Edinburgh. It, Hi.
Yes, I know, I always get that wrong. Anyways, and we have the off tank for
Say
Hyperflow.
Edinburgh.
Edinbrook, okay.
No,
Edinbrook.
bruh.
Bruh, got it. And then
No,
finally,
Edinburgh.
got it. Edinburgh. All right. And then finally,
Yes.
we got the DPS or not DPS off tank for Hyperflex.
I mean,
Herping Yoshi.
I could be a DPS if I want to be, man. Look.
Yeah, never underestimate the Herping Yoshi Genji. I don't know.
Look,
Never.
it's cracked, dude.
Yeah, that's true. He could also be a main tank too because he is better than Vantage. Oh wait,
As always.
always. Anyways, so there's a lot that happened last week. And let's start with Wisdom versus One Trick Wonders. So Wisdom won by the score of 3-0. Player of the match was Zorthon, and the honorable mention was Titanic. So Zorthon had a very strong game. Florida did play in this. Florida was in this game, and so
I technically wasn't in this game.
yeah.
But
Yeah, what's your
so
input?
so we play bad. Let's not beat around the bush here. There's no excuses. We absolutely just played garbage. So we did have some good rotations. There's some good things, but a large majority of us, we just never seemed to put stuff together. There was rarely a combo that went off. A lot of times people were out of position, and like the communication clearly broke down during the entirety of that game. And obviously Wisdom, they're 3 weeks ahead of the rest of the league as well. Again, this is not an excuse. It's just that's how Wisdom is. They are 3 weeks. They usually have they're super well prepared, and I think they're in such good coordination. They are like one of the most terrifying. They are the most terrifying team in the league right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and
most of us going into the season did have Wisdom at number one because we know what their coaching can do, and even though yes, some of these players, were rated like average to a little bit above average, other than like Titanic and Spongy, Wisdom still is one of the strongest teams because they do have the coaching, and they do just have phenomenal all around leadership, I guess you can say.
Yeah,
Anyway,
this is Wisdom just doing Wisdom things, if I'm going to be honest.
yep. And Ghost, anything you gotta add?
I was pleasantly surprised by Igglebop on the Winston.
Yeah, so long story short, OTW forgot to draft a main tank.
yeah, I have a little bit of a also. Yeah, so Blue Jay is actually better as an off tank, as it turns out. So we don't have a main tank. And also, the reason we plugged Iggle in, our comm structure was worse than it was during the game until we plugged Igglebop in. And Igglebop actually knows how to comm and actually knows how to comm from the lead. So he really, during scrims at least, he really opened up our play, I feel, being on the main tank. However, obviously that wasn't enough, and we still have a lot of issues, especially with coordination, especially in the ultimates there. So, yeah, we're still a work in progress by a long shot.
Yeah, so and then let's talk about the player of the match being Zorthon. He was on the Diva the entire game, and and in my opinion, he did a great job shutting down the DPS of of One Trick Wonders, and so like however there were a few little holes in his off tank play, but other than that, he had a very phenomenal game. Like someone even say he was the carry. So.
I do remember Zorthcon from Free Agent Pugs last season of League Zero, and I thought the kid was really good. I was surprised. I mean, I wasn't surprised he went undrafted because he was kind of unknown. But like aside from that, I was surprised he didn't get picked up at least in free agency with teams that needed an off tank.
Yeah, and also people who are saying that Wisdom's tank line was really weak, I honestly think Minimax has definitely improved. There was some moments in was it Hyperflex that they played against where he was kind of feeding a little bit.
Yeah, it was Hyperflex.
But Wisdom has clearly tightened up that tank line, and Zorthcon has been playing magnificently and is probably one of the best off tanks in the league, maybe.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can see it.
At least Wisdom has like a really solid tank line. A lot of people were underrating it coming into the season, but it's evident to me now that we were underrating them too much. I feel, and
I
it's just
do really admit to that.
yeah. It's just also that's kind of also a testament to Wisdom as a coaching staff. That's one advantage Wisdom typically has on most teams in the league, but like their coaching staff has clearly made that team into a well-oiled machine, and it's just going to be terrifying to see them through the rest of this season.
Yeah, so let's move on to the next game, that being Hyperflex and Seattle Battle Cattle, where Hyperflex took the game 3-1, with the player of the match being Valerie, aka the best Junkrat in Novice.
Yeah.
Some would say the spirit of Nukmar was inside of him.
Yes. Yeah. He did channel the spirit of Nukmar.
I love my boy Nukmar. I'm proud of him.
You know,
Yeah,
Valerie might
so-
just be best Junkrat League hero.
Yeah.
So,
So,
I was gonna say from last week, I was the only one that predicted Hyperflex to win. No one had any faith, so and that was including the analysts in the community. So, just saying.
Our own players too. Some of our players had no faith we were winning that game.
On my sheet, I did vote Hyperflex.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. But
Also, so I'm gonna leak some things. Nothing major. But I know that OTW warmed up against Hyperflex, and it didn't. Let's just say it didn't go well for Hyperflex, and I'm glad that they just demonstrated that they do actually have some. Not some. That sounds like I'm dissing Hyperflex. I'm not dissing Hyperflex, but that they have ability and they have the ability to win matches, and that's what's really important, right? These guys will not be Rio.
The warm-up scrim didn't go the best, but it also didn't go the worst. Like we played better in that warm-up scrim than we did in our actual game against you.
Yeah, there's some game. Yeah, there were some moments. Not some moments. I'm sorry. Like I'm trying not to downplay Hyperflex here, but you guys played really well during the scrim. It did look a little one-sided. However, you clearly demonstrated that you guys do have, again, that ability to pull through games.
Yeah, I mean, you can downplay us. The rest of the league already downplays us, even though we won. So.
I'm trying not to, man.
all right. Anyways,
Honestly,
Yoshi did play in that game, so let's hear his input on how you think his team did. So, obviously Valerie won player of the match. How would you think that his Junkrat play? Do you think that it was pretty much just his Junkrat play, or like the team surrounding him really did support him?
Whole team thing. Because there was a lot of times where yes, we had fights or whatever saved by one big ultimate. That's just called the enemy team wasn't good. Like we hard through both Kings and Nepal. Nepal we hard through third point. And on Kings, not only did we throw a Bob and a Blizzard off the map, we threw a Grav into a May wall and got 2 Shatters blocked and a Shatter stunned out. So we hard through Kings Row and still somehow won that map. Like, there's more to come. But yeah, it was definitely a team effort. We all do have stuff to work on as a team, but our synergy has improved so much just from fixing our comm structure and everything.
And Ghost, got anything to say about the game?
I mean, Seattle Battle Cattle, right? They have issues like in the way that players play, like contrasting play styles between players like me and Bediza.
I was honestly really surprised to see Bediza on the flex support. I remember him a lot for his really good main support, but I guess they just didn't have a flex support.
I
Yeah.
think Fading was supposed to be flexible.
I don't know. I mean, he was there at the game. I'm pretty sure. So I guess they just
From
had a
what I've
different idea.
heard, that they've had issues on that support line, and that Rim needed to fill in.
But yeah, he had to fill in for support that game.
Yeah.
Because of he couldn't calm because of something that was going on in his house or life or whatever. So he couldn't calm, so they subbed him off the off tank onto a support role, which is why they did that for Rialto.
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm just. There's some more stuff going on in League Zero as we are speaking. So
As always, with stuff
Yeah.
going on. Let's be honest.
yeah. So
I don't know what's happened.
just some more stuff. I'll get into it later. But anyways, let's get into the final game of the day, which is Edinburgh versus Geometric, and Edinburgh takes the upset here, where pretty much most of the analysts were predicting Geometric to easily take this, and they took it with a score, and Edinburgh took it with a score of 3-1. Player of the match was RQT, and the honorable mention goes to Empty. So, Ghost, you're the manager of the team. How do you think your team did overall?
We rolled them, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, that's completely untrue. Right. It was a very good game. Especially in Rialto and Kings Row, we had the momentum. And also, Vespi and Dragon are insane.
Yeah, I'd say for sure. Yeah, your tank line is actually secretly super strong. It's just some people severely underrate it. Like Merlin is super aggressive, but he's calculated aggressive, if you know what I mean. Like he knows what to do and when.
Bumpering.
He isn't jump off the map right hard every time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also, we kind of saw evidence that Geo had cracks, especially at the final of that tournament, the show tournament.
I mean, look, all that we've seen from Geo is when they have SD, they win. When they don't have SD, they lose.
Whenever they
Do they have anything that's not SD?
I mean, it was a really tight game between them and EM, and then they kind of just rolled us, like with SD in the lineup, right? But as soon as they got the Wisdom, and as soon as they did not have SDA, they looked terrible, right?
Yeah, like that's what I'm
And it
saying. Like,
sounds
does the
like-
team have anything that's not SD? And like they have good players. Like they have like Wooly, who I think is really solid. They have Zexu, who I think is also really solid. They have star players. It's just I think they're relying too much on SD and hero plays.
Yeah. I think they're also relying a little bit too much on Churd. I mean, Churd's really good, right?
That is true. I completely forgot about Churd. Best off tank in the league.
He is one of the best off tanks in the league, I think. But at the same time, I do think sometimes they do rely on him to try to carry some matches, as well as SDA, right? Like a couple of fights against EM, like in the preseason match, was only because SDA was popping off, right? And then
I mean, you could even bring the Anubis play from.
Yeah. Where he completely turned that. Yeah. But again.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah. I was gonna say also, don't forget about that Li Zhang play too, because he straight up.
No, please.
I know.
No, please. Please
Yeah.
no.
So there, in my opinion, Geo is the second best team with SDA, but they fall down significantly without him. It's pretty much a double-edged sword.
Without them.
I actually honestly think. So, never mind. I'm not going to say that because it's going to downplay Hyperflex again, and I got to stop doing that.
Here's the secret to beating Geo. If you shut down SD, you win. The problem is, shutting down SD, I mean, you could just, like, get an EMP next to his car. Like, that would work.
But
just say an EMP next to his car. Okay, I get that now.
that was
Electromagnetic pulse.
Yeah. Anyways, player of the match was RQT, and I know this dude's insane. I mean, that four kill blade on Genji in the preseason tournament. I still remember that. Yeah,
I watched it live. Yeah, no,
I watched that one live too. Yeah.
That made me gasp. Like, yes.
I
saw that, and my friends were all just like, "What? What's happening?" I'm like, "I watched the stream."
I know. Yeah, and that was
doing
and that.
things.
Yeah, and I've also seen his Pharah. His Pharah is actually really impressive as well. So.
RQT is actually really solid, yeah, as well.
think
I feel like
he
EM. I mentioned this when I was on another Chef's podcast, but EM was one of the teams I was most scared about entering the season because people were downplaying them. However, I felt that their team was like extremely solid, and I felt like they could go on a run, and it looks like they're set up to do so. So
I could definitely see them doing that.
yeah.
Okay, so we didn't even prep that much for the Geo game. We were preparing more. When like we're preparing more for to enhance our team, not for individual games.
Yeah.
We will prepare for a couple of individual games. Like, I'm not going to try and leak much, but there's a couple of games upcoming that we are preparing for. Definitely.
Obviously, our
Because
game,
they
because
are
we're the scariest team right now.
Exactly.
Which one?
Hyperflex.
Stop leaking. Stop leaking. Stop leaking.
Bro, pink kind of sus.
Oh, you mean the event? Never.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So.
It actually turns out to be blue.
Anyways.
Anyways.
Moving on. So. Now that the score recap is done, let's move on to our predictions. So first of all, we got Geometric versus Hyperflex. The three people that can predict have Geo winning. I have them winning 3-1, and Ghost in Florida have them winning 3-0. The analysts have 78% riding on Geometric, and the community is 96% in Geometric's favor. So, Herping Yoshi, you being a member of Hyperflex, how have you prepared coming into this game? And just a heads up, SD said he can make this game.
Oh, we know how to counter SD. It's not going to be hard.
All right.
All right.
All
We
right.
have plans for and make it. We have plans for if he can't make it.
Yeah. So, the reason I predicted 3-0, looking back at it, I should have probably given a map or two to Hyperflex, because if you shut down SDA, Geo looks like they're like chickens with their heads cut off. It doesn't look that convincing. I feel like Hyperflex can definitely bring it a lot closer. I feel like even with the exchanges between Geekcake was not in for OTW, right? That trade happened after the game.
That trade happened after the game.
Yeah,
After our game against you.
I'm just being stupid. But even with that, even with Bob's, and I keep forgetting your other support,
Brendan.
even with that support line, and even with all those changes, I feel like Hyperflex can take maps off Geo, or even win the series if they find a way to shut down SDA. So I feel it's going to be a closer 3-0, I think.
Yeah,
Then,
if it's going to be a 3-0, it's going to be one of those 3-0s where the scoreline doesn't show how the game actually was.
yeah.
But I do honestly think
I
think our team is actually doing better with
Geo.
Bob than we did with Geekcake, which is like it's
Yeah.
like poison to say at times, just for some people's brains. But I think it's the truth. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I did mention in the previous countdown that Bob's can turn a team around. He did it last season with Platchat, so let's see if he can do it this season with Hyperflex. I mean, it did show against
Yeah,
SBC,
it's
so
Man
You
help me
never
get my 4K. Man help me get my 4K bomb off that remake. The monkey and the Lucio into it. Man's a legend.
yep, for sure.
I mean, some players just do better on different teams. Actually,
Yeah, and sometimes
Yeah.
just entering one
look
player.
at Flutter
is-
for Shanghai.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
sometimes just enter one player in, it can turn a team season around. I know this isn't the best example considering their overall season, but like Boston, when they got Punk initially,
Oh
they,
yeah,
like,
I totally agree.
they like completely got revigorated just for a little bit, obviously, before
Mm.
slowly
Oh, yeah.
petering off and dying. But
But I still totally
Again,
agree with you. I mean, you could
again.
even bring up just as getting decay.
like one person
Oh, yeah,
who completely
100%.
changes either the comm structure, who completely changes something, can make a team come to life. So, yeah, and so I know I said 3-0 Geo, but I do think it might actually be a lot closer than that, and I don't think it's going to be a hard 3-0 at least.
We'll have to see.
All right, so those are the predictions for Geo versus Hyperflex. Moving on to Edinburgh versus One Trick Wonders. Since three of us are involved in this game, Herping Yoshi is the only guest that can make a prediction, and he did predict 3-0 in the favor of Edinburgh, with the analysts predicting 63% and 65% also in Edinburgh. Ghost, go ahead, say it. I can't.
With Edinburgh getting 63% of the analyst votes and 65% of the community votes.
Thank you. I'm gonna need to
Edinburgh.
learn how to pronounce that. But anywho,
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Got it.
Edinburgh.
All right, so we know that Ghost and Florida, and I'm technically involved in this game, but I'm not really going to give an input. Are involved with this game. So, Ghost, you're the manager. You're the manager of Edinburgh. How is this one of the games that you prepared for?
No.
All right, Florida, do you have any comments about that?
So, it actually makes sense because coming off last week, our team was horrible. And I'm just going to say it right here. We were bad, right? Like, we straight up did nothing that entire game. And I understand why most people would say for Edinburgh 3-0, and honestly, I would not be surprised if that was the result. We're still, I won't lie, we're in a rebuilding phase right now at OTW. We're experimenting a lot because our initial plan didn't work, and now we're trying to come up with alternate plans. I can't leak anything right now, obviously.
Yeah,
But
I could see OTW getting at least a map or two with pocket strats like old OTW comp or new OTW comp.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But I feel like we're getting there slowly, but I can understand why people would predict us a loss. We're gonna give it our best shot. I will admit that we're not like just gonna roll over and die. But I do feel like this is gonna be a tough game for us. Edinburgh looks really strong, at least top 3 in the league. And I feel this is going to be a tough game for us. So I'm just right now. I would actually honestly predict Edinburgh to possibly win, and that's only because I don't feel like we're at a good spot right now as a team. We're getting better, but I understand why Edinburgh also doesn't devote as much time to us, because there is the Wisdoms and Geos plus SDAs out there.
I mean, look,
and
OTW had a rough start of the season.
Yeah.
You guys had Wisdom and then Edinburgh back to back. That's a rough start.
And then,
It isn't.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not
not
mistaken, we have Geo right after that. So, whew. So I guess welcome to the season. So, anyways, Yoshi, why'd you predict 3-0 into Edinburgh? I mean, I think Florida explained it pretty well, but I just want to hear a bit.
Well, OTW did just get rolled by Wisdom. They do have signs of life. It's just I don't think it's there yet, and I think you might need more than a week to actually get all of that prepared for a team that's already prepared for mostly anything.
Yeah, that's very true. Anyways, the final game of the season: Seattle Battle Cattle versus Wisdom Academy. We are all unanimous.
You mean this week, right?
Yes,
because
this week.
It's not the last game of the season.
Yeah,
This
so
last game is right here.
the last game for this week, excuse me. It's going to be Seattle Battle Cattle versus Wisdom Academy, and we are all unanimous on saying 3-0 Wisdom, where the analysts say 93% in Wisdom's favor, and the community is 96% in Wisdom's favor. So, still a little bit of signs of hope for Seattle Battle Cattle, but it's gonna definitely be an uphill battle, especially what's happened this week.
Seattle is too good.
Because out of their coaching staff, which is I think it was Aunt Jemima, Slimal, who's on bench, and then Remedy. Aunt Jemima left. Remedy was inactive, and Slimal is probably focusing on his team a little more than that team. And Slimal's not a macro coach from what I know. So I'm just wondering how they're going to improve, because they haven't picked up any coaches as of right now when this is being recorded. I just don't see anything happening unless they have coaches there.
Didn't they drop Rem as well?
They dropped Rem was inactive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and I'm not gonna say that. But SBC just is looking. I'm sorry. The best way I can describe SBC right now is a dumpster fire, and I don't want to say that. That sounds really harsh, right? But it just seems like they are not 100% on getting together. I haven't, in any of the scrims or their matches, I haven't seen much life out of SBC, and that's worrying to me. And also, again, I mentioned this when we were talking about Wisdom versus OTW earlier, but Wisdom's an insanely good team. Like, they are so well coached. They know how to coordinate. They know how to be proactive.
It's like Wisdom S tier, and then every other team like B or C tier or lower right now.
In the current,
Geo Medi A.
Yeah, just like
Geo plus SDA is A, I think. But I just think right now SBC I don't know if they have their stuff together right now. It doesn't look like they have a stable coaching line. They don't have a starting lineup I think that they're comfortable in. Actually, like it seems that they need to shift people around onto roles that they may not be 100% comfortable in. And it feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good from SBC right now. And I hope they can turn it around. I'm just scared that they're not going to be able to.
I really hope they can turn it around too, because
Yeah.
they have a lot of star players. This is even what I like. When I remember looking at the draft, I remember seeing SBC like, yeah, we got a good tank and DPS line. Oh shit, supports. That's what I remember thinking of the draft, because they had arguably 2 of the best DPS, arguably 2 of the best tanks, and then supports. They just handpicked whatever the hell was left on the tree of apples.
Yeah, and it just seems that tank line as well doesn't seem comfortable. Like, Rim didn't look as comfortable in the off-tank position, which is worrying. And then also, of course, they had to switch Bediza in on off-tank because of an unknown reason. And
I think that was probably a one-time thing, unless something else happens with Rim again, but...
Yeah, but we'll have to see. But I'm just worried about SBC, and I'm 100% confident in Wisdom. Like, I don't see their team crumbling apart. And they just got Geekake on top of that. Like, just making their team even better.
I'm gonna be honest, Insider Leaks, I didn't think, or not even Insider Leaks, I just didn't think Geekake was gonna start over Nukmar instantly, because they already had like 2 weeks of synergy with Nukmar, and they were only gonna have like 5 days of synergy with Geekake. I was surprised to see her start that early.
The problem is, as well, Geekake is actually knows Navino, and has been on previous Navino team. So she knows the system. She also knows she also has played with Titanic before. So she has synergy with the Wisdom coaching staff and with a couple of players on her team. So
that's very true.
So she can slot into that system really easily. Nukmar's not a bad player. I do think sometimes he does get a little bit overambitious.
Look, the man has improved so much from...
Before, when he used to be a Junkrat one-trick last season.
Roxanne fell apart in Flux Cup, and then he was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm playing support. And then the man's been popping ever since.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel so much more confident in Wisdom than I do SBC. And I feel like Wisdom has their stuff together. SBC right now is trying to juggle like 300 different things and are all dropping them right now.
One can hope they get together, though. I don't want to see a Rio this season. I want to see every team, like, at least in somewhat close contention.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, Ghost, do you have anything to say about SBC versus Wisdom? I mean...
I think it'll really come down. If SBC end up playing it close, it'll be really down to either Silver or Eidolon popping the hell off.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Seattle has to have a solo carry moment in order for them to even have a chance in this game. But Wisdom could just shut it down like that. So, anyways, that concludes week 2, of the countdown. My name is Corbs. Our guests today have been Ghost, Florida, and the Herping Yoshi. Thank you very much for watching the Novice segment, and I'll see you next week with week 3. Take care.
Hello ladies and gentlemen of League Zero, and welcome back to the week 1 edition of the intermediate countdown. I'm here with a few of my guests. Say your name.
I'm Panera Panini from the bench.
I am Phone, the DPS player from Mob Mentality.
Hey, I'm Penguin, youtube.com/penguin507, the manager for content credence.
Oh yeah, I'm a captain main support player for the bench. I didn't say that. I didn't know we were supposed to say that, but okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah guys, I'm your host Grapecake, and we're going to be getting right into this. So first we're going to go over the weekly recap, and the first game of the week we had was Mob Mentality versus MI6, and we have a guest here from Mob Mentality, Phone. So I just want to ask you, Phone, how do you think this game went, and did you guys think you met the expectations that the community had for you?
The community expectations, at least from the voting and the analyst voting, was that we were going to lose. We obviously didn't do that. I don't really have that much to say about the game itself. I think that because the entire game was just a mirror of the Shadow Dive with the Reaper Sombra Winston comps, and we just the Hanamura and King's Row were fairly close. But besides that, it's like I feel like in a lot of the fights, like we just came out in the end, even if it was messy at some points. We just like ended up we just ended up winning 3-0. It's hard to really judge how well we played, especially when you're in the game. But I think that MI6 is a very good team still. That's why in my analyst power rankings, I still place them at 4th. I didn't drop into the bottom half because I know a lot of the people at MI6. I know they have the best coach in the league in Asto/Quab, and I think that they will rebound from this and play really well this week.
All right, awesome to hear that. One question I do have for you though is, we do know that the majority of the community did have you losing this game. So how did you guys use that underdog feeling to really push yourself to win this game?
I mean, because we're the underdogs, we had nothing to lose. MI6's expectations, which from what I've heard, made some of their players nervous, especially their players that have not played in leagues before, like their new players. So I think that it really did help us not having any expectations. We knew that we were going to be good than everyone thought we were, but I think it really helped us. Like, I don't think like barely anyone on our team was nervous going into the game. We just tried to play while we were scrimming, and it ended up working.
Great to hear that. Panera, Panini, and Penguin, from a spectator's perspective, what do you guys think about this game?
Well, I think I would. Okay, honestly, what I was expecting here was Mob Mentality is phone versus the world. It was surprisingly not phone versus the world. I'm going to be real here. I did not think the rest of your team was very good, but they look better than I thought they did. So I think it's a little more well-rounded than most people would have expected.
I would agree with that, and also I just want to add that I don't think anybody should underestimate MI6. I think they're a really good team, and if they're all firing on all cylinders, they're a very scary team to play against. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I think we can finish up with that game. The player of the match was Phone, so congratulations, Phone. And the honorable mention was Kilroy. So yeah.
First 6K in League 0 Season 3, baby.
Dude, that 6K was insane, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, thank you.
It was quite cracked. Anyways, going on to the next game, we had DC versus Capitalism, and I don't think anyone's really surprised. DC came with a 3-0 victory. So yeah, what was your guys'... Oh, what phone?
Never mind. I read it wrong. My bad. Keep going.
It was a 3-0 victory. What was your guys' thoughts on this game?
DC's good. I don't know.
It feels
DC
weird.
is expected to win, so... I mean,
Yeah, they were expected to win. They're expected to win this week again. In everyone's eyes, they're the #1 team to beat. I just want to see them play. I want to see how they do against a top team not playing the Zarya and Ana. They were playing the Zarya Ana Pocket Kate comp, and if a team knows how to play against that, especially using the Shadow Dive comp, you are able to exploit the Zarya and the Ana so much in that comp. So I think that if a good team can take it to double cap, playing the meta, they can get beaten. But right now, they're the top team to beat, and I don't know if any team is up to that task yet.
Yeah, fair. I do feel like DC just has one of the best rosters as well. They have like Tyler, who's a really good main tank. They have Cade, who's a really good off tank. They're so flexible with how they play, and I do understand from like teams can't exploit that. But judging by like how early in the season is, I feel like DC should just keep abusing this Zarya strat because they're really playing around like how Washington plays around Decay. If you can play around the win conditions, for example the Zarya in this case, then your team will succeed. And I don't think the teams intermediate are yet to understand how to beat the Winston Zarya comp. I haven't really seen that level of teamwork or coordination yet. So I still feel like DC will stay as a top team, but until teams actually get their coordination and teamwork down, I don't see them losing a game anytime soon.
The thing that kind of concerns me is I feel like almost it feels like they're almost. I'm curious if they're if they're just a pocket the cat one trick team. Like if somebody figures out how to counter them, are they just gonna crumble because they don't have any other strategies? Like are they good at the Ryan Zarya? Are they good at anything else besides that? And hope that they just press W in the team and get full charge and win the game. So that's what I'm curious. I'm curious to see. They're a very exciting team to watch, very fun to watch. Obviously, they're a very good team. All the players are really good. So
fair point. But I do feel like, from my experience of watching VODs and scrims, I do feel like with not the best teamwork, Zarya can be better than D.Va. Like, I feel like one thing I do want to see is teams abuse Pharah against DC. D.Va is a really good soft counter to Pharah. Even if you have a hit scan with the Zarya composition, D.Va can also mitigate Pharah. So I want to see, like, if teams do want to take down DC, I want to see them abusing these long-range hit scans or these aerial DPS, because those can definitely play a big role in taking down these Zarya comps.
for sure, and then it would force Caddy off Zarya too. Probably have to play D.Va, and we can see how good their D.Va is.
I'm wondering to see, because we've seen Madsen play the Sombra. I'm wanting to see how good he is at. I'm wanting to see a lot of these hit scan players that are on the Sombra or forced onto the Reaper as well, because some teams are going with their hit scan on the Reaper, some it's the Sombra. I'm really wanting to see how these teams are doing when they don't play this Sombra Reaper comp, because if for example, Madsen, he's a very good Sombra, but we don't know yet in a game if he's going to be a very good Widow or a very good McCree or an Ashe. We just don't know it because we haven't seen it. So I think it's very interesting to see when the meta kind of opens up more and teams start playing, maybe not revert, but try playing some more of the Ashe comps, the McCree and the Widow comps. I think that'd be very interesting to see who's the best hit scan at that.
And also, something to comment on that, I think Sombra had probably a 90% pick rate this week.
Oh, for sure.
I think the only team that didn't play his player as much was Obligation. We'll get into that game later. But,
and the Content Guangzhou game was...
Yeah.
But I think Sombra had a high 90% pick rate. And there's no reason not to play Sombra. She really feeds off D.Va for all charge. She has she has one of the best abilities in the game. Her ult is one of the best ults in the game. But yeah, I think we can wrap up our on that team. The player of the match this game was Kate. No surprise there. He or she played amazing. And then the honorable mention was Grimace.
Penguin, did you say anything about that game? I don't even remember.
I honestly don't have much to say. It's just team diff.
DC's good.
Yeah, he said DC good.
He does the very beginning. Yeah, team diff.
I don't know. Capitalism's not. I don't want to say they're bad, but they're not good.
They're bad.
I think they have potential. Okay, that's what I think.
They have potential. They have potential if the stars align.
Moving on to the next game, we had Obligation versus the bench, and we have a player here on the bench, Panera. There's no nice way to say this, man. What happened this game, and why were you guys so lackluster?
Honestly, first of all, I DC'd twice, and yeah, that didn't really help my mentals. I was fucking mauling the entire. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I was mauling the entire time. It was trap. My game crashed and my PC blue screen. It tilted me super hard, and I kind of think that kind of brought the team morale down a little bit. And I feel like we weren't as active in comms as we usually are, and we're kind of feeling it. We're kind of really active in comms. And I think that Obligation pulled out, I think it was on Volskaya, they had a double Ashe Widow or Ashe Hanzo or something. This double sniper that kind of shuts down the Sombra Reaper dive. And that's kind of, we practiced that comp a lot, and we kind of perfected it. And we didn't really expect, we expected the mirror matchup, because that's all we've been scrimming against was mirror matches against that Sombra Reaper dive. And when we didn't get that, we kind of just shut down and stopped using our brains and couldn't adapt mid-game. We didn't know what to do. We would see their comp, they would roll us one team fight, we'd be like, we have no clue what to do, and we would just keep running into them, feeding, and trying to build EMP. And then you were saying before we started recording about holding EMP for 3 minutes or whatever, and yeah, there's some issues with that. I think we just caught off guard by the maybe not off meta, but the interesting strategies that the Obligation pulled out, and they definitely did a lot of preparation, I think, and really put in a lot of work. And they're a very scary team, and they're very flexible too. So.
I'm gonna be honest, Obligation, I was really surprised by them. I saw Pichu flex onto heroes I've never seen her play before. We saw the Pichu monkey for the first time. We saw, which is something. I'll tell you that for sure. We saw Squirrel Ben only play Hanzo, of course.
Well, I mean, what did you expect?
Hey, I love Squirrelbound,
I
alright,
expected
but
Yeah.
nothing else.
Squirrelben bought like his
On-
OG
Yo, I'm
teammate.
just gonna take a
TP.
quick break here, man. Squirrelben, I dare you to play a different hero other than Widow Hanzo and get more than 2 kills on him. I will clip this in your fucking montage all you want. I want to see you get more than 2 kills on any other hero besides Widow or Hanzo, alright?
I'm also challenging Squirrelben to a Reaper 1v1.
Damn.
He sees
But
this.
yeah, in general, man, Obligation played amazing. I
We'll
think
be coming for
it
a
was.
second.
I think it was more the bench playing bad. No offense, Panera.
Yeah,
That Obligation playing really
totally.
good.
And I think they play good. I think that we made a lot of mistakes. But I think that a lot of them are definitely fixable. And if you look at some of the fights in those games, if like I was in the comms, listening to the comms, I think there were some fights that were super close, and there were some fights that we actually won. And I think the games were a lot closer than the scoreline might suggest, right? So I don't know. I thought it was a good game, and we have a lot of new unproven players, a lot of players that have come from console. Like C Team came from Xbox. He hasn't played on PC for very long. We have some newer players, Kiri, Slime. I think Slime was new. I don't remember. But yeah, we have a lot of new players. I think with time and with a good amount of coaching, I think we'll be okay. So I think.
Phone and
I'm stepping in. Oh wait, can I
Really
step in?
step
This is
in, step
really
in. I wanna
important.
hear
This is
this.
very important. Okay. Hot take time.
Oh no.
Obligation? Mid tier. I really don't think they're as good as everyone thinks they're, at least from our experience playing against them. And from watching them. No, it wasn't Scrimbucks. SMI, we've speedran them.
Alright,
If you
well.
ignore
I
the
mean-
pauses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you there.
I think this is just I think the bench could have played them a lot closer. Also, I think Obligation is gonna I don't know how to say this. So Smiler's organization, what they do is they have a lot of people on staff, but they don't have a lot of people that are active. So I don't think their team is going to be improving very much as the season goes on.
Yeah.
Once again, Squirrel Ben, quote me in your montage if this happens. But I really don't think Obligation's going to be improving very fast. So I don't think they're a super strong team, and I think everyone's scared of them when they shouldn't be.
All I'm gonna say about us is that I don't know if there are VODs of the DC versus bench game in round 1 of the Smiles Invitational, but I wish there was, because those 2 games were so close. It was actually insane. I don't know if there are VODs somewhere that I just don't know where they are, but I would just say don't underestimate us. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep, fair point. But yeah, do you have any other comments on this game, guys, or can we move on?
I'm good.
I'm alright. I
The
think
player of the match, of course, was Squirrel Ben.
Hanzo TP.
This is literally the first time I ever say this, but Squirrel Ben, you played good. All right, you hit your shots.
Love you, Ben.
You got your ult fast.
All my homies love Squirrelben.
Yeah, and he was
True.
also the he was all honorable mention as well. So every single person playing Squirrel Ben. But yeah, that's pretty dope. Moving on to the next game, we have Guangzhou Gangsters versus Content Credence. We have another manager here.
Yeah.
I want to ask you,
it was-
Penguin. You guys had a lot of hype build around you guys. You guys made the best montages. You guys did all this and that. I want to ask you, what went wrong in this game?
Okay, so I think we were destined to lose this game from the beginning. I'm gonna be real. So, as you may be familiar with, our homie Vantage, we pick him up 3rd pick or 4th pick, has ghosted. Yay, poggers! So that leaves us with 1 main tank, which, by the way, we picked up this main tank by his name alone. Nothing else. Fortunately, Bard is a Giga Chad, and I think he proved that he was Giga Chad feeder during SMI. But Bard, the reason we wanted Vantage was because Bard cannot come to games ever on Fridays. He can't show up to anything on Fridays until at least mid-October. So that means we don't have a main tank. So, as you may have seen on our game, we had to bust out none other than the repeat main tank, the finest, the creme de la crop.
The Super Junior.
Yeah. And honestly, I think if we had one person on an off roll, that game was 100% winnable. Lijiang, we could have won it faster, but I think whatever. Lijiang was fine. We won Lijiang. Anubis was incredibly close. It came down to 1 defense round, and we threw on the first round defense. But that's fine. I think we could have won Anubis. The problem was our flex support had to leave at 9 o'clock, and we were hoping that we could speedrun them, but we could not speedrun them because main tank. So when our off support left, we didn't have a backup off support, so we had to put in our backup main support, also known as deemed by dividing. So we had, I think, with one Jenga piece missing, we might have been able to win that game probably close, 3-2, 3-1. But with two Jenga pieces gone, our little tower collapsed, and we didn't come close to winning a map after we had two off-roll subs, by the way. So I'm not sitting here and making excuses for 5 minutes, but I'm definitely sitting here and making excuses for 5 minutes. I think that game should have been won.
Honestly, man, no hate towards you guys. You know, you guys even took a map off with no main tank and then made it super close afterwards. So I'm not really complaining. Phone and Panera, though, what were you guys' opinion on this game?
I didn't watch this one. Alright, here we go. I'm looking at all the players.
I did, but I'll just say it right now. I was not really impressed with anyone from either team, except for a few people on Guangzhou.
Wow.
And the reason why I say that is Guangzhou, they got 2-1 in Smilers by content, like full strength content. So it was a really close game in Smilers round 1. Then they come into here, they 3-1, still a close game, but not as close as they played you guys in Smilers. But it was so close. I think.
We were missing people for the Smilers game too.
You were?
Yeah, we were missing our hits game. That's his name. We were missing Kiss Shot.
Okay, then my entire thing goes out the fucking window. But no, I'm happy that I know a lot of people from Guangzhou. Happy they got the win. Shout out to Pineapple and Rye. I feel like they're like some of the best pieces on that team.
Yeah, definitely.
And Ian.
Shout out to Pine being a third imposter yesterday. Yeah.
Says you.
Dude, okay, I'm not gonna argue right now, but anyways, but yeah, I don't feel like either team impressed me. I think Guangzhou just kind of benefited off content not having the pieces, but a win's a win at the end of the day. If you win, you win. No, you can't really argue that. But I think we can move on. The player of the match was QZ. He plays off tank, I'm pretty sure. And then,
no, he's main tank.
Oh, he's main tank. Oh yeah.
He played off tank in Pugs, but he's always in the main tank.
Okay. And the honorable mention was.
What?
EXVIG.
EXVIG, man. What a name.
The Flex DPS player.
The Flex DPS, man. The cat definitely found the keyboard on that one.
So we have NA or European servers for this Among Us game?
But yeah, like, that's
Wait, what?
They're a really good game, I guess. But moving on to the next segment we have the predictions. And we have capitalism versus obligation. All of us have actually we have a split vote here. So I have capitalism winning 3-0. Phone has obligation winning 3-1. Penguin has obligation winning 3-0. Panera has Cap winning 3-1.
No, obligation.
No, it's
obligation. Okay.
It says
Okay, fine. I'll switch it so you won't get confused.
So I want to ask you guys.
Switched it. I did it.
I want to ask you guys. Wait, I have to change mine as well. I meant to do 3-0 off.
Scuffed.
This is so scuffed. Oh crap. Yeah. So
There.
So why do you guys all have obligation winning this 3-0?
Cap is not good.
I honestly think that obligation is just better right now. Is better than Cap,
Yeah.
even though they might not have impressed as much against us like bottom feeders. I still think that they're a very good team, and I think they're better than Capitalism. I think Capitalism is good, but they're not on the same level as obligation.
Like I said, man, if Squirrelbank can hit shots on Hanzo, they could keep abusing. If he only has to play Hanzo, they win. If he only has to play Hanzo, they win.
Very true. So if y'all just one trick the Hanzo comp, is GG. So
Yeah, really
According to their amount of scrim bucks, I think that Capitalism can take a map obligation, but I don't think they can win the entire series.
You know what I have to say to that? Stop the cap.
yeah, that's I agree with Fun. I think Cap is good enough
Yeah,
to take at least a map.
Great.
But,
How long have you been thinking of that joke?
Pretty long. I was waiting, man. I was waiting.
I want to hear why you think Capitalism is going to win over
No,
obligation.
no, I meant to say obligation was going to win 3-0.
Okay.
I had to rethink my decision. No, because I
You
rethink my decision. I rethink my decision.
Okay.
After
retraced
more
it in the
analysis
split,
of the DC game, I realized capitalism is not that good, and obligation is kind of cracked. So I came to the realization that obligation is probably going to 3-0. If capitalism
Reformed.
somehow wins, I will buy a Boston Uprising Torp skin. How does that sound? All right. But the way I see it, obligation
Buy a
is to take
Mufin
this
jersey.
easily.
Mongo. Don't do that. Buy us all Nitro, all 3 of us Nitro.
Yes, nah,
Yeah.
that's not-
Yeah. Come on, come on, capitalism, you got this.
But
Come on,
yeah,
fucking Nitro.
honestly, I just think this is gonna be the Squirrel Ben show. I think Kai and Peach, if they just do their job as tanks, they make space for their snipers, their supports do their job. I just think Obligation will take this very easily. I don't think capitalism. Maybe they take a map, maybe they do a cheese strat on control. I don't know, but I see Obligation taking this easily.
I'm
Yeah,
down
what
to
he
be
said.
surprised, so surprise me, capitalism.
Prove me
Yeah.
wrong.
Take 2 maps, make it close. I'm always down for an interesting game. So
And if Obligation is up 2-0, Ben, play something that's not in your hero pool. Please. Please.
play something besides freaking Hanzo Widow.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Ben played
Good.
Hanzo for like 30 seconds and
No.
had 0% accuracy.
Scroll and play Tracer. Pug.
Scrub and play Hanzo against us week 3. I dare you.
Anyways, going on to the next game, we have Double Cap versus the bench. Panera Panini, you're going to be in this game, so I want to ask you, how are you guys prepping for this game, and what are you guys' expectations going up against presumably the best team in the league?
So I was saying that in Smiles, we played them very close. If we can find the VODs, that'd be awesome. Those 2 games were Volskaya. It was like Legion and Volskaya. They were super close games. We went to like 6 rounds on Volskaya. We were just trading back and forth. It was a crazy game. I actually might have the replay codes. I might have to look at them later. But I think what we've been doing a lot of coaching. It's actually incredible. I am not even used to it at all. Like the last 3 teams I've been on, High Society season 2 League 0, Trig and Horizon League, which is kind of mega scuffed, and then Reddit Lucius and Toker. I've had like 0 coaching, like 0 actual coaches, like VOD reviewing or whatever. Nobody does anything in those 3 teams. And then I come to this team, and there's just people are just coming in. There's always getting VOD reviews. There's almost always people in the coaching chat getting VOD reviews, improving individual mistakes and stuff like that. So I think that's what we kind of focused on, and we've tried to branch out our composition pool off of the Reaper Sombra Dive kind of thing, and try to think of new ways to do it or things that might be better. And we've also made a few swaps to some of the roster to try to make things a little bit better and make things a little bit more consistent. So. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a very fun game if we're on form, and yeah, I see you all are doubting us and the community's doubting us. So we have nothing to lose, and I think that I hope we put our best foot forward. So
Awesome to hear. So yeah, me, Phone, and Penguin all have DC win this game 3-0. So I just want to ask you, Phone and Penguin. Even though DC is probably the best team in the world, the best team. Sorry, what the fuck am I saying? DC is probably the best team in this division. Why do you guys think they will win 3-0?
I'm going with the community on this one. 100% DC all the way.
Oh my god, I have to take a hit to your mental there, Panera. Jeez.
you know what, man? I respect Phone. I like Phone. I like this man.
The part that makes me laugh is that your own team can vote in the community poll.
Wait,
Either
no one voted or they have no faith. They just want to be right.
Wait, hold on. I honestly don't think Ava put the thing inside the chat.
He did.
They did?
They
don't
put
think
it
he
in
did.
announcements.
No, he's talking,
which-
he's talking about in the bench server, not in League 0. He's
Wait,
talking about-
which announcements? The
Production.
management ones?
Production
Production.
announcements.
Is it production? Yeah, it is production.
So
In the server? Hold on.
Yeah, in League 0.
yeah.
Look at all the announcements.
Oh.
Scroll
Sorry,
up.
I just had to say that.
He
I
didn't,
mean, it's
he
on-
didn't put it in, so
There's
you know.
there's another game in Expert that has a 100% community vote.
Yeah, Ava didn't put it in, so nobody on our team probably knew about it, unless they're,
Let's hope
unless
they did.
all
Let's hope
doubt
they did
us.
it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I think I want bench to prove me wrong, but I just think this would be easy win for DC.
Get a map, boys. You got this. I believe in you, Panera. I believe.
Thanks, man.
Do it for the boys.
If you can win a map against DC, I'm moving up my power rankings.
All right, bet. We were a question mark out of 8 the first week. Now we're probably
Question
8
mark
out
out of 8.
Did you see Dividing's power rankings? We were a question mark out of
He
8.
can question mark a team. Like
Oh,
literally,
did he?
each division had a team that was question
Oh.
mark because there's at least one team in each division. He had no idea who they were.
Yeah, we tried to pick obscure players that we think we could coach better, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have a good chance. I think that as long as we're all performing and we don't get boomed, and we play like we did in Smilers, I think we'll be pretty good. That's my opinion.
That's good to hear. Moving on to the next game, though, we have Content Credence versus Mob Mentality. We have 2 representatives from here, Penguin and Phone. So, Penguin, I first want to ask you, how are you guys preparing for this game without no main tank?
We're preparing to decide who's gonna play main tank on Friday. I asked the manager of Mob Mentality if they could reschedule on Saturday.
And we said no because then we won't have our off tank.
Oh, wow. It's gonna be a rough game. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Repeat said he'd never play main tank again, so I guess that's out of the question.
What you could do is you could put You said you had a backup support for last game. You could put them on main tank.
Yo, Penguin, just play main tank yourself. What do you mean?
Yeah, Penguin,
Okay.
don't
Just
you play
ring,
main
just
tank?
ring, just ring.
But I can't.
Wait, no, you can ring.
I don't think they're gonna let me. Because peak
What's your
3.5 complicated.
Okay, no, then. No,
Oh
no,
yeah,
wait.
never mind.
I don't
Hey,
need exact
don't worry-
ones,
don't
but
worry
you
about it
have to
already.
be similar under who you're ringing for, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a rough game. Honestly, though, I think it's winnable. Our team, we're pretty strong. Kiss Shot, Steady State. We got Mickey, we got Tyranitar, and we got Fangus locked in. They will all be there. I think they're very strong players.
I'm gonna be blunt. Tyranitar and Steady have to carry you to this win if you want to win. If you want to beat hard carry.
I think Kiss Shot's
and
pretty
he had the
good.
shutdown phone too, so it's like I don't. That's kind of. I mean, I don't know. Phone's kind of insane. So.
Oh yeah, that's what Sombra does.
And,
though.
and,
I believe.
also Kilroy is an insane Sombra. So
My question is for Phone, though. Are you guys even preparing for this game?
yes. And the only reason why is because we don't have our starting main tank, so we've had our backup.
Wait,
been
Red
playing.
isn't gonna be there?
No, we have Silent.
Wait.
I might have to change my power ranking. I might have to change my ranking.
Wait, winnable.
No, but it's like I guess both teams don't have because you don't have any main tank. We don't have our starter.
I feel bad for you, Penguin.
We've gotten
I feel
so
like turn it around, dude, but until then, man, I'm sorry, dude. They're probably gonna have 3-0 you.
We had.
Oh no! We're not getting 3-0'd. Back up here. There's no way we're getting 3-0'd by
I'm 3-0'ing you. I put you down for 3-0. So.
Okay. I am confident in this game. Not as confident as the MI6. I guess in the MI6 game I wasn't even confident for it because I was just happy with just like winning a map against MI6, but we 3-0'd. But I think against CC, I'm expecting to win, and I think that anything not a win would just be disappointing for us and for anyone that sees us as a good team. Mainly because we how good we play against MI6 and how solid and well-rounded our roster is. I think that it'd be disappointing if it was anything besides 3 or 3-1. At least to me.
Fair point. But yeah, I just think Mob Mentality won this game. I feel like Mob Mentality might throw the last map, and that's how Content Credence takes a map. But
Or first map.
or first, who knows? But yeah, I think
Your team wins
this will
control.
be all Mob Mentality this game. Going on to the last game of the week, we have Guangzhou Gangsters versus MI6. And we have all of us here think Guangzhou Gangsters will win besides Phone.
Yeah, and I'm very curious
Yeah,
why you think
Phone,
MSX is gonna win.
Phone,
You need to explain this
Phone,
one to me,
what are you
man.
smoking? What are you smoking?
I'm all ears.
How do people think that Guangzhou is
MI6
gonna win
is
this
not
game?
good.
MI6 is.
MI6 is not good, bro.
Here's the
No,
thing.
but like this is the thing though.
MI6
MI6 is
MI6 lost against us, And now, with a full week of scrims, they're trying harder. Because I know Jeff, I know Quab, I know Gag, all on MI6. And from what I've heard, they are trying so hard in scrims so they do not lose in our fucking game. They are gonna come out the gates, surprise everyone, and get a bounce back win against Guangzhou, who didn't look the best against CC, but still got a win last week.
Can I be honest? I think MI6 could be the Rio of last season.
MI6.
That's
You think
take.
MI6 is
That's
gonna
a
be
hot take.
that? Have you heard of a team called the Bench? They're the reason they're called the Bench.
Okay, dude.
Yeah, but I feel like the bench will at least like
I'm
take
not.
a game off someone.
The Bench will beat CC.
But this is my problem, MI6. This is my problem.
Immediate
They
thing
didn't
here.
impress me at all. I don't care how hard you work. I just see Guangzhou Gangsters being better. I just see them being better. I think they have a better coaching staff. I think they have a better manager. I think they have the better players. I just don't see MI6 winning. If they do win, well, congrats. I guess.
Okay, if scrim bucks are anything to go by, we've scrimmed MI6 and Guangzhou. I think that MI6 is much improved. I honestly think that. That's why I think the game's gonna be really close. But I still think that Guangzhou is a better team. I think it's gonna be a super close map, trading back and forth maps. So it's just kind of come down to like the individuals performing their best. That's who's gonna win the game. So that's what I think.
Yeah, and also it's for the 3-0 for MI6. So far we've obviously played MI6 and we scrimmed Guangzhou. I think on the mirror, it's weird because when we scrimmed Guangzhou early on, like it was like a couple days after the draft. It was like one of the first scrims we had. It wasn't really close at all until we put in like our backups against them. But then the MI6 game, we also played really well, and they didn't play the best. So I'm confident that MI6 is going to rebound and win this game. But I don't know if they don't rebound. This has the potential to get ugly. I'm not saying ugly as in it'll be a roll for Guangzhou, but ugly as in it's going to be a drawn-out series that's probably going to go to map 5.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that MI6 is motivated after losing to us, and that they will play out of their minds the next few weeks.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, I mean I understand they're better and like they might play other matches, but I just don't think I don't think they're 3-0 Guangzhou. I mean, if you said 3-1, I would have been okay with it. But, like I don't think
because if you look at their schedule, they have an easy schedule. They face Guangzhou and then Content and then Bench. Like, that's a pretty easy first half of the schedule, except for the mob and maybe the Guangzhou game. I think that they have a chance to prove themselves as a top-tier team in the next couple weeks.
Fair point.
That's also why I predict them to have a 3-0.
Okay, we're kind of going a little bit over schedule here, so I think we can finish up that game and finish up this whole thing up. Does anyone have any final statements before we wrap it up?
I don't know.
Pango want to plug his YouTube one more time?
YouTube.com/penguin507. Twice a week, quality content.
You guys heard it here first. Thank you guys all for watching this week's episode of The Countdown. If you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. See ya!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Countdown. We have just finished our first week of games. Lots of exciting matches. I am your host RMM here today with our 3 guests, Tanic B, Copy Dog, and Ranter.
Hello.
I think you mean Jesus Christ and the second coming.
Our Lord and Savior Jesus.
Obviously, Copy Dog
I think you
today
mean-
is Jesus.
I think you mean Billy the Kid, and I think you mean Billy the Kid here.
Okay,
Billy
yeah, we
the
have
Kid.
Billy the Kid and Jesus. But
Exactly.
obviously last week, most recently, these most recent matches were all very exciting, except for really one. Lots of map 5s. So we'll just get into them right now. The first match, Hangzhou Bark, 3-0'd Plat Chat. Obviously, the player of the match for Hangzhou Bark is Painless, with the honorable mentions being Chuggy J and Disguido. Tanic, I know you're the manager of Plat
Wait,
Chat.
I need to say something. Payne this got player of the match. He did air, bro. After losing.
Jeez, damn, you're going hard in the paint already.
Like, Chuggy did so much work. Like, every single fight he would have EMP, like, it was just annoying dealing with him. I remember, like, he carried them on, like, majority of King's defense when we attacked them. We had a 4-minute time bank. He would farm EMP every, like, 1.5 fights. EMP bomb instantly. We would lose the fight and just, he would be, like, 30 to EMP again at the end of it. It was insane.
I would kind of agree with Tannic because we actually warmed up Scrim Bark before the match. We went even. We traded the Paul and King, and yeah, Chuggy kind of deadlifted that Scrim.
Yeah, obviously Chuggy has a very strong, I guess.
Yeah, I might have to take
Sombra.
Wait, I'm good. Okay. Yo, I'm having a hard time keeping this up.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I didn't watch this match personally. I only had time to watch veteran matches, which I'll get into later. But from what I heard, is that on first map they ran Farah. Is that correct? Like they ran Aspect first map?
Yeah, that was the least close point of the entire series, just because of we were not expecting it, even though we called it out.
Yeah, I mean, if Aspect's in, you should know he's a Fire 1 trick, so it's, like, not that surprising. It's just funny to me because in the SMI, I know SMI doesn't count, but it was funny because they're like, oh, we didn't use our strats because we want to save them for our main game. And then they use the same shit against Plat Chat. I don't know, it's kind of funny.
Dude, why you think me and Tank just played Goats, bro?
True, I wish I could have played Goats. That shit would have been fun. But, dude, I mean, Bark, they have probably one of the best DPS lines in the league, Acid and Chuggy. And then if you need a Fire, I guess you could play Aspect. And then Disguido's pretty underrated from the little I saw. So I am excited to go against them and to watch them because I think they are good, but I still think that they have some weak points. But yeah.
Yeah, obviously, if I recall correctly, Plat Chat didn't exactly have their most optimal lineup in during most of the match. I know at one point in time North did play DPS.
Dude,
so
North locked the leg for Kings.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure where to measure Hangzhou's skill level just due to, I guess, the lack of, excuse my words here, Tannic, just the lack of skill on the roster of Plat Chat this week.
I mean, it's whatever. We just
they're going for suspension. Yeah.
We just have to wait till like week 3 before we can stop playing as well as we.
Plat Chat are playing the Paris strat of getting good players, but that they can't play for like half the season. You love to see it.
Love to see it.
Our next game is the Tokyo Drifters against Epizeuxis game. Tokyo Drifters did come back with the reverse sweep, winning the series 3-2. The player of the match is Peep, and the honorable mention is Asajun. Obviously, Ranter, you are one of the players on Tokyo Drifters. Do you have anything to say about the match in particular?
I mean, low key, no disrespect towards our players. The only reason we won that series is because our management. Acapella does so much for the team. It's like unreal, and you know RMM basically. I should probably take this off. This is fucking annoying at this point, but RMM fucking like RMM. You know how good Acapella is as a coach.
Yes.
I swear to God, we won that series only because of him. Like, yes, Pete made big plays. Average was good. Apple was dominating Sam. I didn't play terrible versus Cam, and Plat Ajax like 3 times. Yes, he Ajax 3 times, and we still won the series, shockingly. But
did Kern Ajax?
No. Plat Ajax 3 times in the series. Like, I'm not kidding. And we still won. It was just like, I do think it came down to the coaching like scenario. It's just a huge bump for our management, I feel, because they've been putting in a lot of work, and I really appreciate what they've been doing. Like, I would not have that good of a game. Like, people put me in #1 in power rankings. I don't think I would have that game without Acapella because it took us so long to adapt in that series.
Yeah.
Also, it's like the second reverse sweep of the season, right? First for advanced. Already first week and we're getting reverse sweeps. Sheesh.
Yeah. I should know this stuff, but obviously I can't tell you honestly.
I believe it. I mean, like, I feel like hasn't Acapella been with Arrow for a while? I'm pretty sure. Is
Acapella
that how
used
they
to-
know each other?
Acapella used to coach a bunch of Arrow teams.
Mhm.
But the thing is, like, he has such a close relationship with like the players itself. Like, we would jokingly, like, start crap talking the hell out of each other. Like before we faced freaking Epizeuxis, Acapella hard peek checked me when we were playing 4v4 Nanoblade. It was so funny. But yeah, I just gotta give a huge shout out to our management. It's no disrespect towards the players. Like, I do think Epi has a really talented roster, but I don't think we win that series without our management. It's just a huge bump for them. They've been working their butt off on that.
Yeah. I mean, we warned up Epizeuxis, and it was kind of weird because they kept swapping people out of their roster in the warm-up scrims. Because I know Sermi suspended, so I know he didn't play in the match, but he was playing a good amount of the warm-ups because either Sam or Four weren't there. And then they're mixing up a DPS between Ravioli and Kiefer. Blossom was always in, but they were switching out Ravi and Kiefer a good amount. So I was a little worried, but I mean, they went up 2-0, so good for them. They have the skill to take maps, but if they can't close that series, and it's of course it's only the first game, and they're still not the optimal roster because they are waiting for Sermi to be eligible. So, I mean, yeah, that's what I have to say on that.
They kept in Rav that whole series because the reason we won Kings is because the game plan Acapella had going into the series, we knew they were going to play May Reaper. We just busted out a surprise attack far on them and just out-rotated them, and we barely won that point. That's why I think they kept Rav, because they knew we had a far player in the whole time, because I feel like they probably would have played Kiefer if we didn't have Asajun in, because we were trying to lock the far in, and we didn't do too bad on it. We didn't look too great either. Like, there's points where we succeeded, there's points where we didn't, but overall, it came down to the game plan strategy. Honestly, I got no disrespect towards Epi. They are a great team. Even with Four playing over Sermi, like the current moment because he's suspended, I do feel like Four played a fucking out of his mind, in my opinion.
Yeah, Four played really good from the little bit of the game I saw just while there.
Yeah. 4 is good. I mean, he gets ragged on for being novice and whatnot, but he is a good player. I do like 4. I'm a 4.
Yeah. It's like my hot take. I feel like 4 has a better diva than Sermi anyway.
Probably.
Yeah, a lot of people have better divas than
I honestly
Sermi,
think
though.
that. So, and they play diva the whole series, so it's kind of like, why would you not play your diva player, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like if it's a diva meta, 4 probably would start over Sermi.
100%.
Yeah,
I
which
feel
is
like they should. I feel like if Serbi should ever come in, it should be like King's Row, where they're Harlock and the Zarya, which is like what he's known for. But oh no, Serbi keeps saying his Diva's improved, but I've yet to see it because he's suspended, right? We can't really
Yeah,
judge on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely
And what else?
see.
What I'll say about Tokyo is I'm gonna watch the match after this, but I mean, like, props to the DPS because they were fairly unknown in my eyes. I think they were with Arrow before, and Arrow brought them in. But I mean, I heard that they played really well, so I can't wait to watch them. So props to that. I mean, I saw Peeps and Pugs, and he was actually on our draft list as one of the later picks. But I mean, I never saw Asajun, and I guess both of them played really well, so I can't wait to watch that series.
Going in, it was kind of like we're all like sort of friends. Like like that first week, we knew we had something special. Like we were all like we started like clicking immediately because we were all so friendly to each other and enjoyed our presence. And then I think going in, we wanted to prove like that we are a team that could compete because everybody has us in the bottom 3, right? Nobody knew our team, right? It was like if the only person that people knew was me and Platt. Like
Yeah.
just everybody knew the support
Well, I
line
knew
was
Apple,
good. But nobody knew.
I knew everyone besides the
that's like
DPS.
it.
Except I knew everyone.
Yeah,
besides,
because
like,
you're a
Bastion.
veteran. Well, you're a
Yeah.
veteran.
Yeah, and I knew Apple from CSC, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple,
but
when he's
if you-
feeling it, is very good. He also feeds a lot sometimes.
Like if you're, for example, say you're somebody like Aspect who came like what season 2, you didn't know those people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
I don't want to take
Yeah.
too much time off the second.
yeah.
But obviously Epizeuxis, I think they're a good team. I think even though they lost this game, this will, in my opinion, be one of their few losses. I think they'll lose maybe 3 games at most, honestly.
No, I respect the hell out of them. They're gonna be
Yeah.
a top team. They're
Yeah.
really good.
Unless the Sermi curse happens.
Yeah.
He's gonna bust out the diva, and then he's gonna try to be like the second coming of Peachy with the bombs, and it's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know what's gonna happen? Sermi's gonna face Vertigo. Sermi's gonna whip out Diva. They're gonna go down 0-2, and they're gonna collapse somehow. That's what I feel like might happen.
Okay, our next match is another 3-2. Obviously not a reverse sweep. Kingdom Come against Powerhouse. In my opinion, this. Oh wait, I need to go over to player of the match. Player of the match is Cheddar. Honorable mention is Raging Cool. In my opinion, this was one of the more, I guess, intriguing matches of this week. Obviously, Powerhouse has been ranked very, very low on a lot of people's, I guess, rankings, and Kingdom Come has been ranked really, really high. It was a very, very close match, actually going down to round 3 on Busan.
Busan, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm gonna say, if there was a player of the match for the loser side, I would say it would be King Genius. King Genius obviously coming in to start after Dad left. Obviously, people rank him very, very low, but he played really well this match and almost actually led them to victory.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I'm a player on Kingdom Come. So the way I would describe this match is that for Powerhouse, they didn't really have flexibility. They only really were good on the rank comps. I don't think King Genius's Winston was good at all. When they couldn't flex onto the dive, because like on Hanamura, you need to run that shadow dive or it's not going to work out.
Yeah.
They try to run comp, they got absolutely smoked on Hanamura, right? And then for our biggest problem for Kingdom Come, it was our adaptability. Because while we are flexible as players ourselves, we couldn't adapt to what they were running fast enough. Hence why we lost to King's Row. Like on King's Row, they whipped out that Bastion strat, and we were just like, how do we counter this? Like we haven't faced this yet in scrims, because mainly in scrims we've been going in against shadow dives, right? And I feel like in the mirror v mirror on meta, I feel like we are the best team in this league on meta. At least that's at least my opinion. Anyone like you can debate that, that's fine. Our meta is really freaking good, but our adaptability was really bad this match, hence why it would look so close, or closer than it should have been. But I will say that King Genius, he played a really good match on Reinhardt. I feel like when he wasn't on Rein, he didn't do too much, if anything at all.
Yeah, I noticed he actually, they stuck to the Rhine comp on downtown for Busan, and
yeah,
obviously that's a big no-no. That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Comfort pick, because King is, at least when I played against him in Season 1, he was known for his Reinhardt. Like, back when there was only 2 divisions of all the novice shitters coming into the league, King was like pretty good Reinhardt.
Yeah.
And I will say, honest to God, shout out to our coaching staff. I know Ranger shout out his coaching staff, but our coaching staff is the main reason we won maps 4 and 5, because like we were not doing too hot on Kings Row. I mean, Kings Row incredibly close. Both teams, I think both Moiras had over 40,000 healing, which is like that doesn't happen too often, right? Both Moiras had over 40,000 healing. I think I think I had like 20k damage on that was silver. Like all the Reapers, both Reapers on the team, Jason put in the work, Cheddar put in the work. Kings Row incredibly close match, but I think that it was just really close in a way. I feel like we should have lost Jib. I don't know if you watched Gibraltar, but they capped with like a minute 30 and we had 1 minute left. We barely pushed it under the bridge on Gibraltar, and then we somehow held them, which was, a miracle. Map 5, I ate the grab, I swagged on him, and then we won. So yeah, that's about all I have to say about it.
Your coach is Joel, right?
Jewel and Fortle and Epic Shock and Fortle, Jewel, Epic Shock.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard of Jewel, and I probably would have some respect. Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. A good match. I mean, I knew going into it, just Powerhouse could have been good. I didn't think they would play as well as they did, so congrats to them. I actually think that Powerhouse, if they get another main tank to cover the monkey, and then they just have King as a Rhine specialist, they could be a really good team.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like they just need a little more improvements and just a little more time. But I do think that they are a good roster, and people are still underrated.
Yeah.
When I saw them beat OC, they're pretty underrated.
I want to say that you guys haven't talked about Lore yet. Did you guys see Lore? He was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. Lore was projected to be an Inter player, but obviously he came out there with Jason for Powerhouse, and their DPS line actually played really, really well.
Kirito's like one of the
the SMI first. He did insane.
When
they beat OC in the SMI, he was insane.
Kirito falls into the category of being an Inter player that's very good. despite the fact he's into SR. Like he's basically an events player. It's kind of like the
Yeah, for
T-Sen
sure.
thing. But if T-Sen doesn't take his thing seriously, I think, from what I see and heard.
Yeah, that honestly, that stun on the EMP saved them Gibraltar. Honest to God. Because that EMP, we would have wiped all of them because that was a 6-man, and then, I mean, Raging said that he didn't see the McCree, but still, like, Laura was in the right position at the right time, and he had good cooldown usage, meaning that they might have expected the EMP, and that was their only win con because they didn't have beat at that point.
Yeah,
to shut down the
if
EMP.
you look
So
back
if he
at
doesn't stun that, they lose.
Yeah, if you look
right?
back at the VOD for Gibraltar, Laura was actually looking for the Sombra, so he probably knew that Raging had EMP, and that they would probably be going for it.
I mean, it's good on him. He knew ahead of time. Whoever the alt tracker was, or was he alt tracking by himself? Just claps to him. Like he did really well.
Yeah, that's Lilac. Shout out to Lilac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should move on to the next match. But I mean, yeah, it was a good match. So
Yeah, our final match was Overcharged against Vertigo. Overcharged takes this map 5, 3-2. Their player of the match is Romy, with the honorable mentions being Frozen and Corey. Honestly, this was one of the matches I was kind of scratching my head about. Vertigo, on paper, not really the strongest team in the world. But they obviously took Overcharged to, which I said last countdown would, I hope I didn't put the 3-0 there, but obviously I said last countdown that I thought Overcharged was one of the best teams. Obviously,
Both
they didn't
teams
play
had him at
like
number
it.
1. Yeah.
I think OC's biggest issue is that they don't have a confident Winston player. I know Romy's a Reinhardt player. Luckily, when I played with him on Trick, he was more comfortable on the Reinhardt, from what I recall. So, like, they don't really have the best Winston player. So their team is a lot like Powerhouse, where the main tank's very good at Reinhardt, and if it's ever a Rein matter, they'll exceed. But if they don't have a good Rein player, they just aren't as good as they could be.
I think they
Like,
have
the
something
Winston
I'll call the DC syndrome, where in season 1, I know I keep going back to season 1, but season 1, there's this team, and Tanic, you can relate.
Yeah.
Double Cap, people thought Double Cap had one of the best teams in the league because they had Oasis, McCree, and all them. And then the talent didn't gel that well, and they're like a mid-tier team. I feel like that's gonna be Overcharge eventually, because I feel like they have a lot of talent, but it just doesn't gel, and then either they collapse or they become a mid-tier. Is what I see.
Yeah.
yeah, so from watching this game, my biggest issue was how did the Rhinorissa get actual value? Because
Magic.
if you think about it, right? If you're playing the Shadow Divest comp, Orisa should not be able to get as much value as they did. And I don't know if that's on like Zach. Oh, did I disconnect? Hello?
No,
No,
yeah,
you
no,
can
you're
do
so
it.
Oh,
good.
okay. Everybody be quiet. It ran to his mic or camera froze. So, okay, so I don't know if it's on like Zakatar for not eating poles enough, or it's on the Overcharged team itself for not engaging fast enough. Because I mean, like, yeah, I don't know how Orisa got any value. If they played the Shadow Dive, it would have hard countered it. I call BS on. I mean, I think AJD said, "Oh, our Rhinorissa comp, we beat all these teams with it." That's bull. That's bull. I mean,
I
if you
know-
have. If
Wait,
your
let me see.
diva has good enough matrix usage to eat the fire strikes and poles, or if your team is just good enough on engaging on them, like getting a hack off, then there's no way that their comp should get as much value. So I think that's also on Overcharged for maybe not like playing fast enough. Because the array you counter that comp is as soon as Orisa throws down her shield, you just run past it and then kill the Orisa, right?
Yeah.
And you have the Reaper, you have the Reiner Monkey, and you have the Diva all shooting the Orisa. That person's gonna die, right? So I don't think
Yeah.
their comp should get any value whatsoever, but it did, and that's what I was confused about.
I
It
remember
seems the Rhinorissa meta actually made Ranter's computer crash, so we will be waiting for him to come back.
Wait, he actually did?
Yeah, his computer did actually
His,
crash.
his camera froze.
Obviously, Vertigo. I think if they were obviously, I think there's a Sombra in that comp now. Obviously, the computer problems with Ranter. There he goes. But I will say this. I saw Gundam play for Vertigo. I didn't really watch much of that match. That was the one match I kind of skimmed over. I will say Gundam for Vertigo looked really good on Diva. Obviously, for OC, the DPS line wasn't as strong as I thought. Obviously, with them having Blaze kind of ghost the team, and that also happened to me. But They ran, what was it, Commander Huey Frozen?
Frozen. Yeah.
Obviously, Frozen is a very, very good Sombra player, so I think personally
Central played map 1 from what I recall.
Who did?
Central played
Central?
Reaper map
Okay,
1.
yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't run Central the whole time.
Central
I
had to
think...
leave.
I mean, for
Oh,
okay. Oh yeah, Central probably did. Oh, Ranter DM'd me. Have RMM move me back in.
Oh, I guess I gotta do that. Okay.
Okay, and so yeah, and then I was just interested like entirely because honestly, Gundam had a really solid match. Like the fact that you can get value on Orisa in 2020, mind-boggling to me. Right?
It was.
Because we actually his polls were actually valuable, and they weren't getting countered at all. So if you're like if you're an Orisa and your polls aren't getting countered, and you have good polls, you can win the match and easily snowball.
The comp is so strong it crashed my laptop, but
Yeah.
I don't understand how that worked. Okay, in scrims, these guys play the dumbest like things imaginable, Vertigo, and thought they actually busted it out and they went to a map 5, which is Overcharge. That's just.
I know we
I'm
warm up
arguing.
scrim them for the game. We had a Waze main tank. He got MTD'd by Olo, so we lost King's Row because of that. We lost King's Row because the Waze got MTD'd. Literally, he got MTD'd. It was so much pain.
Dude,
Then
no.
on Busan, we literally just ran Reaper. We just ran like dive against them, and we just run the Busan because dive was better.
Bruh, they tried to pull the Atlanta strat on us where they did the TP shit. Oh my god, dude, they're crazy. They run a lot of wacky stuff.
Wait, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot. Yeah, I think that like I thought their shadow dive was good. Honestly, I felt like if they practiced that more instead of trying to practice these off niche comps, they could be a good team. But I mean, like their shadow dive was good until it wasn't good. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
And then they got shut down.
Yeah,
so
the
I feel
synergy
like
gets ruined.
I
Mhm.
feel like and the synergy is ruined. So I feel like if they like Vertigo, that would be my advice. Because like some teams, like for Kingdom Come, we already have Shadow Dives extremely well put down, so we need to practice other comps. I feel like Vertigo is one of those teams that actually needs to practice the Shadow Dive more, because that's going to be the most prevalent comp for now. And if you're not good at that, then you're going to lose maps, and you're going to lose series.
I think for our team, our biggest issue against Hangzhou Bak was the fact our lineup, I think, played a total of 4 scrims in total together. Like,
yeah.
We just don't have a consistent lineup because scrim to scrim, we have like, I think one scrim we had Nova Nope 3 tank line for like 3 scrims in a row one day. It was not that good. Like our team's biggest issue is just that we can't build synergy because everyone just like we have randomly one person just not able to make a day.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate.
And that's also why I feel like our team. I know people are like, "Oh, you pre-drafted some like not pre-drafted, but like." Oh, most of us have played with the. Actually, I wouldn't say that because that's only me and Cheddar. But like, I mean, me and Cheddar have been playing on teams together for over like a year now. He's my fucking boy. I love that kid. But like, I feel like we had the vitalized part. I mean, I personally have never played with Ant, Pixel, or Raging Cool, but we all gelled extremely well together. And then the other people have already like have pre-existing synergy. Besides Raging Cool, but Raging Cool is just he's a fucking like he's so good.
Yeah,
so
Raging Cool's great.
He just fit in. I don't know how we got Raging Cool. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, that's relatable. Like I played with some of these people, but not for long. Like for example, I played with Apple for 2 games. I played with Average on Bot Burgers in season 1, so that's like in Narnia, my guy. Like I played like maybe 2 games with that guy because he was benched for Pigeon. Then I've never played the DPS. And I played like 2 games with Plat, so I never really played with these people before, and you can tell like after the first week that this was like to me at least it was going to be a good team solely because like how friendly we were, and I feel like you're probably going through that with Kingdom right now where you played with some of these people before but you really never been on like true team, right?
Yeah.
But let's move on to the predictions. Our first match is Tokyo Drifters versus Overcharged. Copy, you have the Tokyo Drifters winning 3-0, and Tanik, you have Tokyo winning 3-1. Our analysts have Overcharge winning. It was about a 50-50 split, actually. And the community has picked Tokyo Drifters 68%. So about 2/3 of the community believe that Tokyo wins.
Yeah. So here's how I think of this, right? If Tokyo Drifters and Epizeuxis had a really close game, and then Overcharge and Vertigo had a really close game, I feel like there's two scenarios where either two of the groups are completely separated, so it's either Tokyo Drifters and Epizeusis are the top of teams, while Overcharge and Vertigo are at the bottom, or everyone, like every team, is together. And I do think that there is a split. I do think Overcharge and Vertigo are two of the weaker teams right now. That could be somebody, but I do believe that, which is why I think both Tokyo and Epizeusis are just going to smoke the competition this week. I could be wrong, but that's my hypothesis, so I'm going to see if it's correct. But that is why I picked Tokyo. I think Tokyo just have the better team.
My biggest issue for OC is how will they be able to play meta? Because when we gave them Central, people may be questioning why. Central, the current meta, isn't as good as people think.
Yeah, no, I was going to comment on that, sorry.
Central is a very good player. It's just that his two best heroes are not Reaper or Sombra. They're not. Those two heroes are just not his best or his comfort picks. So when we traded him away, me and Spork were already better on Sombra and Reaper. So like losing him wasn't the biggest issue because Spork could just fill all the roles Central played.
Yeah, Spork is actually a surprisingly good Sombra player. So
no, he was very good. We had him on Capricorns. He was very good.
Yeah, Spork got coached on Capricorns by Jewel on Sombra as well.
And SMU actually, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, so I mean, Spork. I know Spork told me, he's like, oh yeah, Central couldn't really play meta because Spork initially wasn't like intended to start, but I guess since Central couldn't really play meta, Spork like got the spot. So good on Spork, but like
I think. No, before we figured out meta, the original lineup was Central Spork. I just didn't want to play in the current meta because I hated it. But then I got forced to play because, well, Central wasn't that good on Reaper or Sombra, and Spork was good on both of them.
Yeah.
So our next game is Epizeusis versus Vertigo. Actually, everyone has Epizeusis winning this. I have it as a 3-0. Ranter has it as a 3-0. Tanik has it as a 3-0. Copy, you have it as a 3-1. But
I mean,
but the analysts have 82% to Epizeusis and the community 83% towards Epizeusis.
I mean, just call that shit a pity map because I mean, maybe Vertigo for some reason, if for some reason, if Epizeusis don't like watch the Vertigo game and don't know how to counter it, maybe Vertigo takes a map, but I do think that Epizeusis are the better team and they're gonna take it.
I think.
I've screamed, but go ahead, Tag. I'll mute again.
No, you go first. You go first. I need to fully think.
Okay, I was gonna say before I DC again, for the ninth time, but so going into like that's like the series of Vertigo versus Epi, I feel we scrimmed Vertigo, and no offense, Vertigo, we kind of had you in that scrim. And if we beat Epi, there's no way, like if it was that close, I doubt you're going to beat Epi like that. Unless you learned something in the last like 1 to 2 weeks that we don't know about, I doubt that. So that's why I predicted it. Epi's just too strong of a team compared to y'all.
Oh, also, I want to say something because on last week's frickin' a countdown, I was like, oh yeah, we scrimmed Kingdom Come, and even though they didn't have Ant, they held it with us. Bro, we won all of the maps in that scrim. My monkey is so fucking good. I don't know what they were talking about. They were like, oh yeah, they held it close with us. Bitch, we fucking smoked you guys.
It is scrim books though, but like it gives you a general idea.
I don't want to say scrim books, but like if you're gonna lie, like come on now. I love you, Obo, but come on now.
Stop.
Can't say that.
Stop.
It's scrim books, but like it gives you a general idea though.
It gives you. I'm just saying, like they said that we held it close with them. If anything, they somewhat held it close with us. And the only map we lost is because we had both like Gizd and Pixel on DPS because both our DPS were gone.
Okay.
Like you can't say that like they held it close with us when we were like I was on Monkey the entire scrim and like we were doing good.
Have you ever had the most blessed tank line in a PC scrim you've ever heard of? Nope 3 Nikos. Nope 3's on Monkey, Nikos is on Diva.
Oh my god.
Monka.
Did we force Nope 3 on Hog that scrim because his Monkey was so bad we just couldn't win with it? He did better when he played Hog.
Yeah.
But Nope 3 is actually a very good off tank despite the fact he's a meme.
Yeah, for sure.
But obviously, well, our next game is Kingdom Come versus Plat Chat. We have a player slash manager from each of those teams. So obviously only me and Ranter can really talk about this one. I have it as a 3-2 going to Kingdom Come, and Ranter has a 3-1 to Kingdom Come. The analysts have it 74% pick Kingdom Come to win, and the 80% of the community picked Kingdom Come.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Going in, I listen. I used to be a Plash assistant manager for a very short period of time, so I kind of like have like a sort of bias towards them. But I did predict Kingdom Come to win. I feel that like Black Chat's main issue is that they don't have a consistent lineup going in, which I agree with Tanik, and I feel that it's gonna cost them in the series. I feel like around like week 4, week 5ish, they're gonna be a lot better. Like, don't get me wrong. I respect the hell out of Black Chat. They have a good team. I just think it's Kingdom Come right now. They're more stabilized. They're gonna win that series easily.
By week 3, we should be. I'm gonna pest to North this entire week and like all for the rest of the season to show up to stuff. If not, I have Gil. Thank God that I decided to trade Gil, so we have a backup. So basically, Nova is suspended for the first 2 games for I think N-word baiting and no idea. So we lost him, but it doesn't really matter because I feel like our team's biggest issue is just we're talented enough to beat most teams. It's just that we're just not synergized together yet. Like against Hangzhou Bak, we would win fights purely based on just beat them in talent, but then we would just lose the fight because they just have better coordination and synergy.
I feel like I said it would be 3-2 for Kingdom Come. I feel like Plat Chat can actually take 2 maps off of Kingdom Come if one Kingdom Come plays close to like they did last week against Powerhouse, and somehow Plat Chat can emulate that. I think Plat Chat is better than Powerhouse, so I think personally they could even come out with a win. I feel like Plat Chat definitely has a good chance at winning Lijiang, probably, if you guys do have that as a control map. And I'm not sure what else, but obviously the skill is there for Plat Chat, it's just the synergies that missing. And if they can get that synergy going, I think they can actually maybe even win.
I think they're just gonna block them late season.
Here's what I think about it. I do think we're gonna beat Plat Chat, but it's not because like we're necessarily the better team, like hands down the better team. I just think that they don't have their full roster. Like they're playing like they were playing a main tank on off tank like this week. It's just like it's kind of scuffed. So I honestly wish we played Plat Chat later in the season because I would love to have a fair match against them, like the best team, the best version of each team going against each other. Unfortunately, that can't happen. I still rate Plat Chat super high, but I do think because of their situation, and I do think that we're going to get better this week at our adaptability, and that's what we're going to hard focus on. I don't think that they'll really catch us off guard, but I do still think that even if we do beat Plat Chat, I still think that they could be a better team than us in the long run. But I hope that we face them in playoffs because, I mean, like they look super good on paper, and that's a team that like I would want to face like full force versus full force.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's the Paris strat, dude.
That's what I say. It's the Paris strat. So,
Season 1 Plat Chat strategy. We just tank the playoffs and just.
And then you win the grands. This is the 900 IQ idea.
We lost the first game, and we lost the first game.
So it's just unlucky that they have like this scuffed roster, but I do think like, I mean, it could be a blessing and a curse that we face them now. But I personally would like to face them later just because I want to face the best version of every team. Just like if we lose, then we lost like a completely fair fight. And if we win, then we won like completely fairly, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to like ego and like say, oh, we're the better, we're the worst. I just like want to like have fun and face really good teams to improve.
And like a team, like for example, if we faced Bach without like any of their starters and we won, we won't have any right to say we're better than them.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
And that's how I feel right now about Plat Chat. Like, if we beat them, I'm not going to, like, go out, oh my god, we're so much better than Plat Chat.
That's kind of why I feel conflicted with the Epi series to an extent. Because Sermi didn't play, but even then, I sometimes think 4 might be better than Sermi. So I'm like, I'm not that conflict.
Diva, yeah.
That's where I'm at that conflict where I'm like, did we really beat Epi? Or at the same time, is 4 really... I think 4 is better at Diva, so I'm like at that conflict where I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
I Jeremy said it himself. Ford played better than he would have. But I think that's also because Jeremy's weird.
I don't know. He's a weird figure. Like Cerami's either like the hard deadlift or the hard throw.
Yeah. I remember on FTA, I would basically not be able to do anything on Echo because he needed 3 armor packs every fight. It was not possible.
No. It wasn't even that. It was Vantage. That's a different topic. That's Strider that need all the armor packs, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, that was an
Yeah,
Echo.
we're not gonna talk about that. The Echo meta, that's different. Well, we played the Zen comp in Echo meta most of the time. It's different.
Different times. Okay, let's get back on
At different times. Get back on track.
Okay, actually, wow, this has actually been only like 35 minutes. Actually, maybe
I mean,
won't
we
yell
can
at me
go
this
back to
week.
we could go back to Tokyo versus OC because freaking I didn't get to say anything on that.
But I don't
What do you
think.
guys say about that match?
I think we already just.
Did I just crash again? I'm a mall.
No, you're here.
You're here.
Okay,
Okay.
our last match is Powerhouse versus Hangzhou Bark. Obviously, all 4 of us are not associated with either team, so we all get a good prediction. I said Hangzhou would win 3-1. Ranter said Hangzhou
Understandable.
would win 3-1. And Copy, you said Hangzhou would win 3-2. Tanik, you said Hangzhou would win 3-2. 57% of the analysts predict that Hangzhou will win, and 80% of the community predict Hangzhou will win. Personally, I think Hangzhou just wins because Powerhouse's team can't really compete with their DPS level. No offense to Kingdom Come, but obviously their DPS line isn't the best.
To Kingdom Come, what?
Kingdom Comes. That's why I think personally Powerhouse actually played pretty well because Kingdom Come has very, very good DPS players, but they aren't like hard carriers. They're consistent, they're very good, but they aren't like insane like Chuggy J and Acid are. That's why, honestly, Powerhouse.
No.
I just don't think they can compete with that. Obviously,
I
Jason's
think
good.
here's the thing with Powerhouse versus Hangzhou Bark. I think there's a world where Powerhouse wins just because if you lose in only here's the thing, if you win in 4 out of the 6 matchups, you automatically should just win the series. If you could beat the team on 4 out of 6 and just play equivalent team game, like Chuggy and Acid are better than Kirito and Jason, but I think King Genius on Reinhardt's better than whoever they have on main tank. Smile and Reinhardt. I think who's their off tank? I don't know. I don't know
Kit
their
is for
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse. Disguido is for Hangzhou. My bad.
I'm not gonna lie, going to that series though, I do believe in the Chuggy.
Oh,
Chuggy can.
I think
Chuggy
that just
can
gives them enough to
deadlift.
win it.
I
So,
think it all
because that series is
depends.
just
Ranter's
Ranter
being a
has
toaster out
died.
here.
I think it all depends
there
on
you go.
how well negate Chuggy J. If Powerhouse can negate Chuggy J, they just
I'm
should
alive.
win this series. Okay.
I also honestly I
Probably.
feel like you're underselling Laura and Jason. I think that they're
I feel like
really extremely underrated, and I do think that Jason, when he's feeling it, he's one of the best DPS in the league, better than Acid and Juggy, right? And I feel like Lore is still incredibly underrated. I honestly, like, I predicted Bark to win, but I honestly hope to God that Powerhouse win. A, so it makes us look better that we had a close game against them, but also B, just because like I feel like Powerhouse can, like, they're one of the teams that were like, oh, they're either going to be really good and really bad. And honestly, I hope they are really good because they have some really underrated players,
I
and they
think
went for that
this-
underrated draft type
I
thing.
think this entire matchup just depends on the tank line of both teams.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah,
Genius
probably.
play- I feel like if King Genius plays as well as he does against Kingdom Come, unlike Ryan favored maps, they should just win if he plays as well as he did in Kingdom. If he doesn't,
He
and
should just
Smile-
always lock Rhine. Like, honestly. Even though it's not gonna work, I feel like he should just always lock Rhine and just pray to God that they get a Rhine map.
Ryan, or they could, like, they tried a Sigma Hawk, which is kind of like niche, but they could run like an Orisa. I don't know how good King Genius's Orisa is, but Orisa Sigma is honestly somewhat still viable on maps. If you're saying, oh, then, no, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's just I feel like it. If I know Powerhouse isn't flexible, but if they like try to play what they're good at instead of trying to flex what they're not good at, they might have a better chance.
Yeah.
And again, I do hope
and,
Powerhouse
like-
wins because I do think that Jason and Lore can actually stand up to Chuggy and Acid. I feel like you're underselling how
It's like
good
no
Powerhouse
disrespect to King
is.
or anything, but King's problem is that he really can't play Orisa. Because I remember, like, in the past, Kisco would play Orisa for him in Double Shield and Hog metas, where Kisco would be on Orisa and King would be on Hog or Sigma. I feel like that might be an issue later in the season if Orisa was to come back in meta.
Yeah, I want Powerhouse to prove me wrong. Go ahead and prove me wrong. I would love to see that happen. I underrate. I think I underrate Jason and Laura, and I want them to prove me wrong. That would be amazing.
For sure.
Yeah, but that's obviously all our games. Tanic, Copy, Ranter, thank you. And I think that do you guys have anything to say before we end this?
I have a couple things. Plat smells. Follow Shimfy on Twitter. Good luck, Seb, because you're gonna need it. JK, good. I think you're really good, Seb, and good luck in the series. And last thing I'll say is, Sermi, you're a bot burger.
I think there's something I need
There
to
you go.
remember. Copy, you go first.
CopyDog69 on Twitter, CopyDog on Twitch, and yeah. Shout out Cheddar the homie and the rest of Kingdom Come, all homies. Let's go.
I remember this. Oh yeah, Radix is not a part of YBN, no matter what he says. That's all I need to say. I'm officially a part of YBN, Radix is not. I have direct confirmation.
Let's go, dude.
Nice,
Looking
nice.
to hear.
Thank you, Ranter. Thank you, Copy. Thank you, Tanic. And hopefully, maybe you guys will come back sometime.
Hello guys, welcome back to the expert part of the countdown. I'm Pooter Scooter. I'm joined here with Adbon.
Yo.
Oh shit, I forgot to do. There we go.
What did you do?
Okay,
Fuck it up!
Adbon.
It's Fog Boys.
Juice.
That's fucking cringe.
Whip Nene.
And Adam.
Hey.
Alright, so let's move on to the first recap, which is Newton versus Z9. Adbon, you actually got play of the match for that. Can you just discuss like what the match was about, how you felt through it, and all that? And also, Juice, I'll ask you that afterwards as well.
So I know at least from the Newton perspective, we went into the match kind of just thinking, oh, this will be a roll. No respect to Juice, but to be fair, you're probably one of the weakest main tanks in the expert simply because of all the major competition. Like there's Jishua, there's Flawless, there's Matt, there's Ultra, which would be normally like starting for Z9. When we went into that and it's a Juice Dash tank line, while they have other good parts like, you know, M-Key and Marky are both pretty good, and Peter's really good, and Jolt isn't bad. Even so, we were just looking at it as like, yeah, this should be a pretty easy win, like, and it was, except for like one hiccup on King's Row, which was probably a lot closer than we intended. We kind of just pegged out third point and second point on their attack, and it allowed them to cap all the way through and then get an okay run on overtime.
Juice, can you just discuss like what
Yay,
your
my
team
turn.
is going through?
So right now I'm not in my room, probably because someone that you may or may not know is playing Battlefield, and you know what happens when he plays Battlefield. So today we're not in my room right now. I'm in my my basement living room, and next to my microphone that has nothing to do. So I'm talking to literally no one, and I look like a lunatic. But so right now, yeah, the game was not good, but I mean, honestly, we just got to play better. We got to come back more prepared, and we got to scrim more and just get better. And Adbon is saying that, yeah, our tank line's weak, but he's forgetting a crucial step is that, you know, it's really difficult to have a rookie like Dashi come in and stepping up, who did pretty solid that day, and try and contend with Client on Diva, which is a very tall order, but I think he did solid. And I think that we should just, you know, just work up, just regroup, and play better next time.
Dash is a rookie?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Oh.
No, rookie in the top division is what I mean.
Oh, so his first time playing like in one of the, like the top.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think he. I think he did. I'm pretty sure last year he was in. It wasn't expert, but or advanced, or not advanced at the time, but intermediate. It's weird, like the intermediate.
Yeah.
Last year.
I mean, yeah, it is
4
hard
divisions.
Yeah, it is hard to like go up against probably, in my opinion, the best off tank in the league. So yeah. Also, in my opinion, Client changes like everything in the game. I'm gonna go back to a scrim. Basically, from what I recall, and from a voice chat that I was in with Newt, Client calls out like simple dives that completely destroy the other team. That just, I don't know what else to say. He's really, really good.
He's on another level.
Yeah.
I do actually have. We're gonna bring in scrim bucks because of course we are. Today in a scrim, 4 of us had died on King's Row after like the enemy team EMP'd us, and it's just him and Term left. He grabbed all 6 of their team. Term Death Blossom killed 4, and then Client killed the other 2. So like, I don't know. Maybe Client's brain is just giga.
It's always winnable with him.
It's always winnable. I mean, he was full energy, so it's always winnable. But I don't know, dude. He's just giga brain.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next recap game, which is the Chengdu Chad versus Easy Clap. Chengdu won that one 3-2, with the play of the match being Matthew and the honorable mention being Bun. Adam, can you just talk about what went through your mind when you guys were down 2 maps?
We, for the most part, going into the match, we definitely knew we had the advantage. We thought we were better than them, and we were really struggling to figure out who the fuck was going to play tank. And honestly, it was like a toss-up between 4 different people. They all wanted to play main tank. So we knew the first map was going to be a loss. And going into the second map, Matthew was back, but we still weren't mentally, like, we hadn't bounced back from the first map and going down. So it was sometime in between map 2 and map 3 that it was mainly Matt that led this, and that's kind of why we all voted for him. He just got a big mental reset on the whole team, that as soon as we got into King's Row, we nearly full held them, and we just had full confidence the rest of the match. Like, as soon as 2 fights in King's Row, we knew we were winning.
And I also just have a question about, like, so basically a lot of the league is running kind of Monkey, Reaper, Sombra type comp. But you guys were running a Reinhardt Zarya centered comp. Do you mind if you just discuss? It's okay if you don't want to, because it's like kind of like revealing comps. But is it okay if you like discuss why you guys chose that comp?
It was a lot less of a tactical reason, because there was some reasoning behind it, but most of the time it started that we were playing on King's Row, and we wanted to change something up a little bit, and King's Row was like the best Rhine map to play him. So we did it, and we know that Matthew is more comfortable on Rhine. He's a beast on it. And after, like I said, we had full confidence going through. We didn't want to change anything about that, and we knew that Matt was better than Neglect on Rhine. We just wanted to rush through it. It was also just kind of a more aggressive in-their-face play style that I feel like helped us mentally stay ahead.
Yeah.
I actually have a question as well. Going into the third map, was like the general consensus of like the mental was like, it's still 0-0, boys, we got this?
Oh yeah. We felt like a completely different like game started.
I have another question. Zero Sombra?
Oh yeah.
I don't know, dude. It ain't it, Chief. Bun Reaper, kind of pog, but Zero Sombra ain't it.
Hey, the results speak for themselves, alright?
Dude, Bun carried. What do you mean?
Hey, Bun really did carry.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like Bun is better on the Sombra and Zero is better than the Reaper. Than like, I feel like that's the better comp than Zero Sombra. But maybe you guys are just thinking like big brain stuff. I don't know.
I got another question for you, Adam.
Yeah.
So how did your scrim go today?
Man, dude, that's
Zero may or may not have booked us with an advanced team.
Okay.
Hey, you actually, you're not the first expert team to do that. We scrimmed, scrimmed Epi, whatever the fuck it's called, like last week or like a week and a half ago. Yeah, basically. I found the name Epizexus. Explain. I don't know the name, but we scrimmed them about a week and a half ago when they had 2 ringers.
I feel like, in my opinion, this might sound like a hot take, but like I feel like you can get away with it kind of easier in this league compared to last year, because like the jump's a lot more different, to where if you like have like a lot of people, because Zero, the reason why he did it was he wasn't there, and then he was like, we'll just find only a 4.1K scrim.
Yeah.
And then some of the advanced teams to look good look for 4K, 4.1, or like 4K flat to like. So
Do they not just get rolled in those scrims?
Well, here's the thing. How does Zira not know that was Chuggy's team? I don't understand. How do you not know that? How do you not like? I don't like. I can see how it can accidentally happen, but I don't understand how you run into that problem where it's like, oh, that guy's from League Zero, to where he's just like, we're fine. Also, I think he's grounded.
Oh, also,
his birthday was yesterday.
Zira's grounded.
Also,
I think 2 days ago, actually.
Zira is banned for one map, if I recall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Zira being the absolute giga brain that he is. Personal insults or bullying, instigating outside drama.
I don't even know what it was.
Good job. You played yourself.
Dude, I'm gonna be at McDonald's the other day. If he ever watches, he probably doesn't watch it. Actually, he should watch this because this is a great thing. I mean, we're on here. But like Zero's like gonna get on joint McDonald's. He's gonna go. So I think it's funny, huh, that I'm grounded, huh, right? I think that, right? Like,
Don't you know you're talking to Season 2 League Zero champion?
And I can still talk shit on a 14-year-old even if I wanted to. Oh, wait, my bad, 12-year-old. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I think that's enough for the Chengdu Easy Clap game. Let's move on to the shit show, which was the Love Muffin San Francisco Glock game.
Oh my god.
Pooter, let me ask the question.
Wait, no. Let me just say the player of the match and the honorable mentions, and then we can go into that stuff. And let me explain my point of view first, and then we can go into questions. So the player of the match was Jewel, or Juru in game, and the honorable mention was Target Acquired. Or Hamba, yeah. So when we went into the game, we were like, it was a 4v6 first map, and then 5v6 for the rest of the maps. We didn't really we didn't really do anything. We kind of just sat in voice chat, like not even like doing anything with each other, which we aren't like synergized enough for, which is kind of why Anubis was like really close. But I don't know, like this isn't an excuse. We should have 3-0'd them easily. It was a 5v6 overall. I don't know. I'm really disappointed in my play, and yeah, it's just unlucky.
So what happened?
Okay. So yeah, first map was a 4v6. We lost point control because we thought that, hey, we could just TP into the back line, and then that happened. Second map was a 5v6 with Jepic coming in after him being banned for.
Wait, so who were the 4 players playing map 1?
Joshua, Glacial, Jazza, Pascal.
And this was a primetime game, right? It was streamed.
Yeah, this was one of the streaming games. Not Z9 versus Newton. No.
Yeah, no.
Well, that would have been okay. That was sad on a different level.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, I would have rather seen the stream Z9 versus Newton game than that fucking shit show.
Honestly, I agree with that. Yeah, but yeah, they during Anubis they pulled out the Tracer Ash, I believe, and Jazza Ash Glacial Tracer is just insane, and we kind of got rolled.
They got carried by Pascal.
Yeah, that play. That thing on
it's just Pascal's head.
Yeah. And then the last thing was a Hollywood. Not gonna lie, that was kind of a roll from us because we were like actually getting into like the mental set, like the mindset of like actually.
Damn, we might actually lose.
Yeah, we might actually lose. So we gotta play. Yeah, but it was way too close for a 5v6, and there's been like a lot of stuff going on inside of Love Muffin. I do gotta say there is a player that we aren't too happy with, so we may be doing something with him.
Is it Target Acquired?
No.
Really?
Okay, dude. Yeah, but
I just threw some hard shade.
Wow.
But that's about it for the game.
Listen, dude, if you'd seen his Reaper, if you'd seen from his Reaper what I've seen from his Reaper, you wouldn't be happy either.
No, we are swapping some stuff up with that as well. So be prepared. Yes. So, does anyone have any questions about that, or can we just move into the predictions?
Yeah. How far in advance did you know that they were going to be down people? Like, were you going into that
Game time.
the day of?
Game time. At the game,
okay.
they showed up with like
8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. They showed up with 4 people in the thing. We were like, "Are they actually gonna play this out?" And Joshua said, "R." And that
So
happened.
who was supposed to play? It was Tiny Moon and Northern,
it was
right?
supposed to be Tiny Moo and Northern, but Northern was drunk and high, I believe.
Dude, my man,
He couldn't do anything.
And then
Disclaimer: Z9 does not promote any underage drinking or any smoking of herbal substances. You must be the
Juice,
age
we
of
don't know
21.
exactly what it is that you promote.
Again, disclaimer: Countdown does not, and I repeat, does not support the idea of underage drinking. Please, if you have a problem, call. What's the number?
1-800-333-3345.
Do not call that number. We don't know who it is.
Not call that number. Might
Yeah.
just get some random ass business.
Yeah, so basically, that's what happened. That's how far in advance we knew. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If it was if we did start out with a 6v6 like we were expecting, I don't know how good it would have went, just because like our mental would have been fine then. But even at the beginning, our mental was broken because it was a 4v6.
Yeah.
Like
that makes sense.
Yeah.
How does your mental start broken? In
No.
a 4v6?
Okay. Well, my thing was I wasn't really like, playing right because it was a 4v6. And
So it's not that your mental was broken; it's that your mental wasn't there.
Yeah, my mental was not there. There we go. Yeah.
It's like what is it?
Was your mental nearly broken
enough
after
4v6?
I believe there's only going to be one person who gets this, and it's like probably Geode because he's British. But it's like when like the reigning premier champions, Manchester City was playing against one of the worst teams, QPR, and it was 11-10, and they went down 2-1. It's like, what? You're the best team. How do you suck this much?
I understand. All right. Any more questions or no? All right, let's move on to the predictions. First game is Chengdu Tads versus Love Muffin. Yeah, kind of what I expected. Adbon, why do you think that Love Muffin will take 2 maps?
I feel like as long as you guys just clean up your Reaper, I think you guys could probably just get hard carried by Hamba and Sombra to at least 2 maps. I mean, his Sombra's pretty good. I think it's one of the top if he can clean it up, as well as, he's had a DPS duo that wasn't a Widow one-trick. But as long as you guys don't play terribly, I think it's entirely possible that you can take it to 2 maps, or you can take at least 1 map. But I will give you benefit of the doubt and say you guys can take it to map 5.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we take it 3-0, but...
What did I put down?
Listen, we don't take it that far, okay?
I mean, that's what I'm expecting.
Wait,
So,
what did I put down? Because I can't see my
3-0
monitor.
for Chengdu.
Oh, Chengdu versus what, Love Muffin?
Love Muffin, yeah.
As long as Zero actually goes and... Oh, wait, no, so Zero's down
banned
a
first map.
He is banned for a map.
So I said 3-0. I'm dumb. I should have said 3-1 because I feel like they're going to... Okay, you guys are going to win the first
Wait,
map
do you
because
wanna
Zero
change it
doesn't
for
exist.
3-1? Do you want to change it to 3-1? I can.
Sure.
Wait, who's Chengdu's other TPS? Che?
Chegg, yeah.
Yeah.
Chegg Sombra or Chegg Reap? Okay, maybe it's probably
Well,
gonna be
Chegg and Plasma.
I mean, I like Chegg, but
Chegg
like,
and
Plasma. Plasma can
Okay,
play.
I don't think either of their Sombras are good. I have no idea about either of their Reapers. So I think it's very much possible you guys could take first map.
see, Puda, the key to success and that match is outplay Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, just boom Matt.
Just boom.
Yeah.
As
If
if
Matt
that's even
not,
possible.
no, it is. If you boom Matt, his mental is hard shattered and he does nothing for the rest of the game.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I've been grinding in comp like legitimately like every day for like 6 to 8 hours, and I've just been trying to grind the monkey, just you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see Zero missing a map being... I honestly don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think either Chegg or Plasma, either one of them is
I'm trying to give
just
Love
fine enough
Muffin some
replacement.
support, but I don't know.
Especially because the 2 DPS that are meta right now are not very mechanically intensive compared to a lot of other DPS. It's more about the teamwork and comms, which with enough scrimming, I think that's It's typically gonna be worse than 0, but it's not gonna be that much of a deficit where I think it's gonna cost us the map.
Have you guys
Yeah,
been playing Plasma and Chig
I
and
kind of do
Scrims?
have to agree with that.
Scrim leaks? Have you guys been playing Plasma and Scrim? Plasma or Chig and Scrims?
I can't say either of those.
Plasma's too busy with
Jewish?
college.
All right. So let's move on to the next team, which is Newt versus Easy Clap. All of us
I'm looking
know
at
Newt's
these.
gonna
I'm
win.
looking at these predictions and I'm not happy.
I don't even know what I put.
You put 3-1.
Let's
All
go.
right, so- okay, my reason that I put 3-1 is just because Easy Clap may ride their 3-2 loss from Chengdu to the next game, win one map, get rolled through the rest. But then again, Newt is a very, very strong team, and they could 100% 3-0. I'm just giving Easy Clap the benefit of the doubt, saying they could carry momentum, but I would say that there's no way that they're winning.
If
you want me to be
think
honest-
there's a way they win either.
If you want me to be honest, Flawless played May, and that's not much hard of a task. But now he's going up against Neglect, which is a lot more of a hands. Now I'm gonna say my opinion. The third, a top off tank in YOLO God YOLO Allah or whatever his name is at this point, because like I played with him before. His tracking is his tracking is so good, and I see why that they could put him next to Agreed and actually make Agreed look confident. And then what is it? They have Recto is a pretty good job. And then after that, I don't know. The rest of the team's pretty scuffed, but I feel like they can pull out a map against Newts.
Right,
Just because I think Adbon's gonna choke on a map.
You think I'm gonna choke on a map?
I don't know.
Okay, my thing is I think that people are overrating Easy Clap just because of the 3-2 over Chengdu. Chengdu
Well,
threw the first map. Chengdu actually threw the first
Yeah,
map.
first map was a complete throw. Second map, you guys were kind of just being, I'll be honest with you, being retarded.
Yeah.
I would say that. Whatever. But let's be honest, the
Treat it
third
like
map.
League Zero rules.
So I'm allowed to say that. All right. So then, third map Kings Row wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Dorado was pretty close. Let's be honest. And fifth map was not close.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Neglect's monkey is probably one of, if not the best monkey in the league. Maybe beaten by Joshua.
But Joshua's been grinding like a Reinhardt, hasn't he?
I don't know. I'm gonna be dead honest about that.
He's been grinding Bunny Girl Senpai.
I lost.
Understandable,
Oh my god. Yo, I just watched a movie for that. It's so good. Alright, moving back to Overwatch.
Anime's
Overwatch.
Ew, disgusting. You know what you should be watching? You should be watching football!
No.
Didn't two football teams get canceled due to coronavirus?
No, I think they're playing now. At least colleges. I know that for a fact.
Okay, dude, that's college. No one cares.
Bruh. Alright.
Anyways, predictions.
Yeah. Okay, so, I feel like...
I don't know, dude.
I feel like, Neglect, YOLO God, and Worthy are, pretty underrated. Neglect isn't really that underrated. But YOLO God and Worthy are 100% underrated.
Well, they're going against a Geode and Client.
I know.
Which are the two best in their respective roles currently an expert.
Yeah.
Where's Swift?
Swift is not on support.
He plays DPS.
Yeah.
He does DPS. It's either me or Swift on Sombra, and we're both equally good.
Goated. Alright. Nah, but I do feel like people are underrating Worthy. This may be biased because I've known Worthy for a while. But he has surprised me a lot, especially during the Chengdu game.
Adbon, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you play with Term, do you try and like ego him, and then Term goes, "Okay, dude"?
No, I don't ego Term. What I do is, yo, Term, we're pretty good DPS duo, and they just say, shut the fuck up, and I'm just like,
it's such a Term thing to say.
Because we got an EMP Death Blossom combo where Term killed six.
Poor Client.
And I was like, yeah, dude, we're pretty good.
And I feel like Client's just in the game just probably like, oh my god.
Listen, dude, in scrims, Client molds. In games, Client's mental is unshakable.
I think really the most interesting thing to watch in this game is going to be the tank line, because I think the tank line is the biggest strength for both of the teams.
Yeah,
but Newts have better players in every other role, so I don't think they're going to lose this, honestly.
I think you guys are underrating Flawless. Man's been grinding.
Yeah, I do have to agree with that.
My man didn't get
Also,
manager. Rest in peace.
I don't know what to think of Daniel because I've only.
All right,
played...
listen, dude. Listen, dude. Daniel.
Let me speak. I've only seen one scrim with Daniel. I'm bringing in scrim bucks, but he actually played pretty good. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about that. Definitely unexpected, but not like as good as, let's say, oh no, probably like Pascal or something like that. He's good, but like not that good.
Well, obviously.
I agree with you.
You're paying him to like a tier 3 player.
Like I place Daniel second best flex support. The man is an absolute crackhead. He goes insane. He came out of nowhere. No one knew who this man was. And then he just comes out of nowhere. Like, I'm pretty sure Geode was like, we need a flex support. Picks up this random person. Crackhead. Insane at the game. Also, he randomly picks on and is like, guys, it'll work. And said we just want him to go Moira.
I have a question. This is a serious question. How much does Geo do and how much does Dart do?
Geode hard carried the draft. And I'm pretty sure Geode finds most of the scrims. I'm pretty sure Dart just AFKs and pretends to be manager.
Okay.
So it's...
Wait, that's not entirely true. Wait, let me check the
like-
announcements. I'm pretty sure Dart found our last scrim.
like
Geode found our last scrim.
It's like most regular teams, but reversed. Where it's like it's like the captain's the puppet. Actually, no, that makes sense.
That makes sense, but okay. The last thing Dart did was confirm a scrim against Chengdu that got canceled.
Instead of weekend at Bernie's, it's weekend at Newton's.
Yeah,
where
I
it's
do
like
have to
Gio
say
just trying
that-
to
I do
pretend
have
that
to say
Dart's
that,
alive.
So I have a better question. Adam, why do you guys always cancel your scrims with us? Are you afraid of losing even more scrims?
No. They also canceled with us one time.
Do you guys like double block? Like double book?
No,
the
they
only
cancel
time that I've
because
ever...
Zero plays on Gorilla Grip, and then Zero's like, oh yeah, I don't.
That's
but
usually most of it.
You need scrims 6 to 8, and we get scrims against Chengdu 6 to 8.
The only time that I've been involved in getting a scrim so far is today. So most of the time it's Zero. I know I didn't schedule this scrim, I scheduled a future one.
If Zero's watching this, why do you guys constantly fucking cancel scrims against us?
Gorilla Grip, that's the... I know the answer, it's probably Gorilla
Yeah,
Grip.
but we scrim 6 to 8. Gorilla Grip scrims 8 to 10.
Yo, Adbon, you want to scrim on Friday?
Scrim on Friday? I don't know. You have to ask Jid.
Alright, I'll ask him. Yeah, he asked me today if we want to scrim 6 to 8. Yeah.
And then we didn't, and said we scrimmed a shit team.
Yeah. Alright, I think that's enough Easy Clap Newt action, even though we just talked about Newt most of the time. Let's go to the
Newt is cracked.
San Francisco Glock versus Z9.
No bias.
And it's about what I expected. Juice, can you just discuss like how you're preparing for this match?
Well, I think there are two people who are obvious that we can discuss and try and game a plan around, and that's mostly the glaring ones, which is we're gonna focusing on the two, or we're focusing on trying to minimize Pascal and minimize Joshua. Joshua, he's probably watching this, and I'm just saying right now that watch out for a great main tank play by yours truly. And not only that, but what happened, man? You're such a nice guy last season, and now you grew something that I hate, which is an ego. That's why I bully Zero. But most of the time, we're going in as like the underdog, and well, actually, we can't really say underdog usually after a performance like that. So we're going in as like a team with very little expectations. But as a quote that Basilisk would agree with, and I might fuck this up, and I definitely am because I'm not reading off of anything. I'm literally staring at a wall, which is lower their expectations so low that when you do something, they're surprised. So yeah, that's our goal.
Words to live by.
So your entire goal is to appear so trash that they aren't prepared for you to be better than trash.
Well, that, and I'm kind of ripping it. Like, I'm kind of juicing right now.
You're on the hard grind?
No, I'm juicing, like, literally right now.
Oh, so you're just taking drugs?
Maybe.
I thought you don't get dirt taking drugs.
Nah. Alright, let's continue.
What's next?
Alright.
Well, we can talk about.
Oh,
San
I
Francisco.
also just want to say something.
Oh, shit,
about
yeah.
the Z9 Glock game. If Northern doesn't come again, Bakandre is still banned. So like, could be a
5v6.
possibility, but I'm almost 100% sure.
That's
that
another
Northern
thing. Glock doesn't scrim, and Bakandre has scrimmed more with Z9 than his own team.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Yes,
Glock
that
doesn't
is
scrim
literally
out.
true.
Why is
Oh.
Bakandre scrimming with you guys?
Because I had an exam, so I couldn't come to the scrim, and then another time where I wanted to go play football with my guys, so I dipped, and I think there was like another time, and he came in 1 or 2 scrims, and Glock has only scrimmed 1 time.
Yeah. Glock definitely doesn't scrim. I think they're just focusing on their.
They're being the easy clap.
They're
I mean, their
being
entire
the-
team is just lol XD. We have Pascal and Jazza. Is it Jazza or is it
Jazza.
It's Jazza.
Whatever.
Listen. Jazza's a freak.
He is a
but I
freak.
heard he's gonna be on Sombra, and I don't know if that's a good thing.
Who would be on the Reaper?
Yeah.
It's
Jazza
Glacial.
was on Jazza was on Sombra for a bit. If I
I
recall correctly.
don't know if Jazza Sombra's good. I don't think it is, just because it doesn't seem like the kind of hero he would play.
See,
But
that team,
I also heard that it would have been Glacial on the Sombra if Glacial wasn't dog at Sombra.
see, that team's very interesting because, like, I think people have said this thousands of times, where it's like, oh, it's literally Hanamura but add Jazza, well, and Jepic. But it's like, well, if you think about it, I mean, they were bad last season, but Joshua has improved a lot. And then Jepic is always a solid pick. He got to GM somehow, and and I mean Pascal is like what?
Well, Pascal's cracked.
I mean, they're a pretty solid, well-rounded team. They're probably like their only problem is they don't scrim.
This is gonna sound really weird, but I think in the current meta, the biggest question mark is their DPS.
Oh,
if they play meta, I think that's their biggest question mark.
That's kind of me and that's kind of me and Snipes. Even though he's on Newt-New and there's other DPS out on Newt-New, if they didn't have you add on a term or whoever the other person Swift, yeah. I'm not sure if he could play any of the characters like other than like Widow and Ash. So
Well,
maybe Jazz is like that. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't want to be rude to Snipes because he is on my team, and he is actually really fucking good at the sniping heroes. But in scrims, both me and Swift massively outperformed him on the Sombra.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we would be people on Sombra. But if there is ever a sniper meta, Snipes is gonna be popping off.
Yeah, of course.
No.
That is scary.
Snipes are like, I mean, I've heard of him, like, I've talked to him, I think, one-on-one once. And, like, my first impression of him was, I mean, he's a pretty good, I mean, he can click heads pretty well. My second impression was, this guy probably smokes so much fucking weed, it's probably not even funny. Or I'm completely wrong, and he gives off a not a bad vibe, but more just a chill vibe.
Yeah. Like, no hate to Snipes, but like, I don't know. I just don't know.
We're gonna have to put a PG-13 on this countdown.
I think that's about it. Do you guys have anything else to discuss? Or
I do this yearly, or wait, it's not even yearly, seasonally, where I talk, and sometimes it gets to people, and sometimes Koodle leaves midway through and doesn't care about you. And I want to talk about, I think an interesting thing about how this league is, and how, like, I want to, like, just talk about how, like, an important thing to just note is that, actually, I'm too high. Shit. I think a key thing about, like, my own team is that, like, I don't know. I think, like, my problem is like, a big thing that I realized, like, as a manager, and, like, now I'm in college, is that, and I'm on, like, a different team, is that, is, like, a key thing that I've seen about all teams is that I feel like you need to have, like, a good relationship with your team, or, like, there's just always going to be a big crack to where it's like if you get, like, a team where it's like out of the game, like you talk to your team and like play video games, like and chill. I feel like it's a lot better locker room than for say a team where it's like when they immediately finish scrims, they all just fuck off and then they go play and do whatever they want. So I feel like as a manager, what I need to improve on is like be more like one-on-one with my players and like and eliminate like egos and not even egos. I mean, it's okay to have like some of like ego because some of that goes to confidence, but like most important thing as a manager, I need to do better at just talking to my players because like I think one of them is like he's really talented, but like I don't understand when he's either competitive or when it's like he's really mad and pissed off because like I still don't understand like where he's coming from, so I just need to like talk to him a little bit better, and that's about it.
All right.
Is everyone else alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, at least for me, the only real thing that I'd say is just my own personal goals for this season is like. So what I'm known for is getting
I know
banned,
what you're known.
is getting banned for saying the gamer word in season 0.
Gamer.
Listen, dude. Spectre did it first. Don't at me. That's that, and then Z9 season 1, which was started off well. Juice remembers. Then it kind of just pepegaed out of control, and then being bench boy on Flush. And the only. You go.
Oh no, I was going to talk about like a big reason why I drafted a lot different this year is because I wanted to get players that didn't have egos because like okay, last year I just basically picked up NYL and then I realized that they were so incredibly they were so incredibly vibrant and it was fun because where it's like you could just completely fucking meme and it's funny, but then it's like you go back to like some of the problems that we had was mostly because the locker room was too vibrant and too like crazy and hectic and like no one took the job seriously. So like now I'm trying to take my job more seriously, but in return like I feel like it's put a lot more stress on me personally, and it's more annoying because it's like Ultra I wanted to build around Ultra, but I mean, he's like
suspended.
No, I knew he was suspended because we're playing for the long game. But like my only problem with Ultra is, actually I have no problems with him. I just think he's sometimes dumb.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not gonna lie.
After playing scrims with Flush last season, yeah, Ultra every now and then can just go full monkey brain. It's weird. But you just I'll just finish.
No, I'm not saying that the guy is dumb. I just think that like he I always like I think my problem is like I always wanted to try and talk to my players and like trying to get to like a more like I don't know how to put it. I might be repeating myself, but it's like I feel like I want to display a message after the game and talk about not only talk about the game but talk about teamwork and real life values and see you can get a different thing out of just playing video games and get other experience, just how you can make yourself a better person.
Yeah, and going back to at least what I was talking about is being bench boy for Flush last season. Going into this season, the only really good thing other than maybe I'm a good player people knew about me is that Baz during the draft said, oh yeah, Adbon did well in scrims last season for Flush because Plato fucking works on a farm, and I'm out here to try and prove that I'm actually a good player and I deserve to be here and I could be a good pickup.
I mean, I think the problem is like with this league is you put an image on yourself week 1 of season 0 and then it lasts through till now, where it's when you mentioned Adbon, you go Adbon word, and it's it's stuck with you for 2 fucking years. It's like when I was season 1 or season what was it, season 0, I was a sophomore in high school, and the Eagles haven't even won the Super Bowl, and now it's I'm in college, and the Eagles completely don't even know how to play football anymore, and it's weird how like in that amount of time something can stick with you for so long. It's very interesting.
It's weird because either like the people who do know me from from a while ago are like Mad Bon word Pepe laugh, and the people that don't know me are just like Humega lol. Why should I pick up this guy when there's these other people that are obviously much better?
You're on my board. I can link it now. It doesn't matter.
Hey.
Like, you're on my board, but like, I think when were you picked?
7th.
Yeah, I was gonna pick you then, but you got taken. And is it true that you ego on Chegg?
I do not ego on Chegg.
I hear a lot different because I hear Chegg saying, "Oh, I always got egoed by Adbon," and then I called you out in front of 100 people, saying, "Look at you! Look at how dumb you look!" You got picked over Chegg.
Yeah, you did. And guess what? Guess who's going to fucking lose to Newt? It's gonna be Chegg. Calling you out. You two, Adam, you guys are gonna fucking lose. It's over. Nah, it's fine. No real beef.
Literally next week.
Honestly, is it next week? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's SFG, I think.
Yeah.
But, dude, listen. Jake may have gotten picked before me, but he's going to be riding the bench and I'm not. So it's fine.
I mean, I guess it says a lot about your DPS players then.
Yeah, I'm just that good at Sombra.
Oh no, here comes the ego.
No, in the current meta, that isn't required entirely, like we said a while ago, on just raw mechanical skill. It's a lot easier for me to, play because I'm not going to have to fucking deal with just having to 1v1 Jazza on Widow. So...
I think that we should bring this group back because we're the best group, honestly. I mean, but like, who else? What other personalities are you gonna bring? Fucking Zero? Dude, he failed out. He didn't fail algebra. He failed math 3. Come on, bro.
I asked Zero last week and he ghosted me. He didn't even
listen, dude. We don't want 12-year-olds on the countdown.
Nah.
Yeah, but
do your homework, kid.
Maybe later in the season, but like, yeah.
Well, Adam's just sitting here like, yes.
Yeah.
Count yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. No, I'm fine with that. I honestly don't care. So that's about it. Do you guys have any,
about to edit this and be like, oh no.
He's gonna kill us.
I'm gonna get a DM from Acri being like, can you not be a complete and utter bumbling idiot? And I'm like, nah, that's my job.
Another No, dude, Acri's just gonna be able to DM all of us like, you're banished.
I mean, I used to like DM Acri about like League Zero news, and like I met him in real life, and like that's the first time I met a 26-year-old where I'm like, I could beat the shit out of that guy.
Dude, my only DM with Acri is from when I won on Countdown last season.
His friend called me. His friend called me fat at the grand finals.
He asked me if I was free and if I'd like to be on the Countdown. Then he asked me for predictions, and that was it.
Yeah.
What an absolute Chad.
Yeah, Acri is Acri.
Acri is the best mod.
True?
Yes, don't ban me.
Besides Plasma Season 0, that was the
best. Don't even get me started. Listen, there's an entire reason I got banned.
No, I'm telling you, by Season 5, they better start making some historian videos. Like this day in like League Zero, watch as Plasma completely buys all the GMs, and it's like they pick up. Like,
watch as Plasma completely circumvents the rules to favor his own team. Because they're about to lose a map to Easy Clap. Season 0.
Oh my god.
All right, well,
this is the day where in week 1 of season 1 where Juice broke a keyboard for literally no reason.
Did you actually break a keyboard in season 1?
Yes, I stabbed it with a knife.
What? What? What did I miss this? I was oh no, I wasn't on team season 1.
I still have the pictures.
Is this because we lost Easy Clap on week 1?
No, I remember because I plugged it in and the wires were out and I touched it and I zapped myself.
Juice, You're a crackhead, you know that, right?
Oh,
That's
God.
good, right? I mean, Michael Reeves a crackhead, and he makes.
Yeah. He makes a chair that shocks.
Yeah, but he
you.
gets money
Let's
for
be
it.
honest. People
He
clicked
gets
off the
hella
video
money.
by
He
now.
gets
They're probably
hella
like,
Popular crackhead.
I don't know what these people. They're
They're
probably
probably
watching.
like,
You know,
this has
they're
nothing
watching.
to
They're
do with
watching the
this.
presidential debate, which when we're doing this video.
Yeah, dude,
Because
they're watching the
It's not like
presidential
we're doing
debate.
anything better. I mean, it's not like you're picking between two people that could either A, end the world, or B, be the best person ever. I mean, actually, it's probably the first option. But not to get political or anything, but sometimes I think I'm a Karen.
Do you want? Do you want an old white guy or an old orange guy to run the country?
To run the president.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want a carrot to run the president, and then the president to run America.
Yeah, Acri just edited all of this out.
It's
all gone.
Yo, Acri,
I think
on the
that Acri
screen
just,
right now, can you put like a picture of someone whipping and nay-naying?
Yeah, Acri, just put a snare drum right now.
God, we're all gonna get blacklisted.
Acri, put a picture of you
Snare
flipping
drum,
off
snare drum, a snare drum.
this
Give me a second.
on
I got a
OBS.
snare drum right next to me.
Yeah, actually have a snare drum.
I have a drum next to me as well.
Cymbal, snare drum, cymbal, snare drum.
I got a drum set
Holy
next to me
shit.
too. What do you want? You want a drum off?
Dude, we have to make sure Acri earns his pay that he's not getting.
Doesn't he work it for OD?
Does he?
I think he does.
Does Acri? Acri, do you work for OD?
Yeah, Acri, do you work for OD?
I'm pretty sure he does.
If so, give me more money. I want more money. I already
What
got 20
money?
bucks. Give me more money.
Me being like, guys, aren't you ready to try hard this league for the reward
got my
that
drum,
we are
look.
all going to get?
Oh wait, I gotta take off my
And the
headphones
winner
to go on my drum.
is
Give me a
Zero.
second.
He turned
11.
11.
He turned 11. I have a question for you, Adam.
See, here at League Zero, we
Yeah.
take this.
What is it like being on a team with Zero again? Oh man.
There you go.
So I was on a team with Zero last season, flushed, and I constantly got threatened of being traded to Guangzhou Gangsters. Are you guys
Is this
getting
even
threatened?
to count that anymore? This is just
Yo, did you guys
four
see that?
Are you guys
All
getting
right, no.
threatened? Are you guys
Okay,
getting threatened to get
Acri,
traded
Acri's
to
gonna
Muffin
piss
or
at me.
something?
Okay, last season in Countdown, there was one episode where we barely talked about the matches, and we just like
we did that.
we
We
just
did
messed
that
around,
already.
and the community got so mad at me. What can I do?
Listen,
I
community.
disliked the video just because it was funny because you didn't do anything.
Listen,
and then you watched the video.
All right, listen. Anybody who's still watching this video, if Acri hasn't edited all of this out yet, right? If you blame Pooter for this, your mom's a hoe.
We're gonna get banned. What are you doing?
Oh fuck.
I don't know. I think we should be brought on every week. We make it entertaining.
This is the best.
I'm still
This is-
standing in my living room. My dad has yet to get
This
off
is
the
just the
battlefield.
greatest meme.
All right,
that's it.
I actually gotta end
Woo!
it now. I gotta end. It's
That's
been
been 50
45
minutes.
minutes, man.
It's been
we've
50
recording for
minutes.
Yeah,
45
dude, I gotta
minutes.
go back to my presidential debate bingo
Oh,
card.
dude, yeah.
Oh, dude. No, I've actually been watching it. I can't say anything because we're being recorded. But,
Because politically,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so that's about it. Do you guys have any closing statements?
Oh wait, we're still recording?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Acri hasn't edited out yet?
Yo, the Browns are gonna win the Super Bowl.
Fuck off.
What do you mean, dude? The Browns trash.
No.
It's not like the Ravens are gonna win. The Ravens are also trash, but you know.
Lamar can't throw.
I just don't watch
This isn't
football.
even League Zero at this point.
It isn't.
Subscribe,
Alright, yes,
follow,
subscribe.
join.
Subscribe to League Zero.
Yeah,
Remember,
subscribe
you
to
can
League
still
Zero.
participate.
Make
It's
sure
because
you.
free agency's coming up, and you can still join possibly, and maybe take one of the starting spots. I don't know. Get out of being a shitter. Because
Make sure you only ever refer to Zero as a 12-year-old.
Oh, my dad's here. What's up?
Alright, let's end the recording. End the recording. End the recording.
All right, thank you guys for watching this thing. I don't know what
so
it's
hot
called. This was the countdown first part of it. The second part, I have no idea what it was. Come back next week. We're gonna have new guests. We're gonna talk about the new games.
Why would you get new
yeah, see you next week.